For your heart. For your hope. For your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future. For your passion. For your work. For your life. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future. For your heart. For your hope. For your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future. For your passion. For your work. For your life. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future.
Okay. Check 1 2. Check. Oh yeah, that's good. Hold up. Check 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. Can you see a gain signal coming in there? Okay, you can. Okay, it's not clipping. It's like in the yellow. Good, good, good. That's what we want. Check 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. Okay, I'm gonna go to headset 2. Check 1 2. Perfect. 1 2. 1 2. Good. Yep. Both are good. Awesome.
for your heart, for your hope, for your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future, for your passion, for your work, for your life. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the season debut of Duluth FC Soccer here, brought to you courtesy of the Blue-Green Stream team here in Duluth, Minnesota. Alongside my color commentator, Joe Mooney, this is Matt Johnson coming to you live from Public School Stadium here in Duluth, where the Blue-Greens opening up the home portion of the 2022 MPSL North schedule, taking on their arch rivals, Minneapolis City, the Crows, coming up from Minneapolis. Both teams coming into this contest tonight, Coach, at 1-0 on the season. The Blue-Greens coming off a very impressive 6-0 win in their opener against Joy Athletic. Meanwhile, Minneapolis City coming off of a 2-0 shutout of Twin Stars. So the two teams meeting here tonight, both winning their first contest of the 2022 season. It should make for a very interesting matchup here tonight in Duluth.
Matt, I'm so glad that this game is this early in the season. I don't think I could have waited any longer for this one. It's going to be a really good matchup. I think, just looking at the two squads as we've seen the team sheets here. It's so obvious the different way that both squads have chosen to build their teams. Minneapolis City, sort of a perennial powerhouse. Every year, the same kind of cast of characters. A lot of local guys that have come in. And they've chosen to really build local. And that's why they have so many guys year to year returning. And you look at Duluth FC, and what they've done is they've gone out, kind of across the country here and brought players in. And so it's a lot of new faces. I've had a chance to watch them in training a couple times, and there's some really great players and some guys that I think fit what Coach Sean Morgan is trying to do in terms of structure and team setup as well. So, both teams, it's very early in the season for both teams, but I think there's going to be some really good players, a really good just overall level of play and quality there. What a perfect night for this game as well.
Absolutely. Temperatures right now in the mid-70s, a brisk breeze, I would say, going from right to left here at Public School Stadium in Duluth. So we'll keep an eye on how that affects play as we move on. Going back to that 6-0 win that the Blue-Greens had in their season opener, Coach. 2 goals and 3 assists for Blake Perry in his Duluth FC debut. I know that you are very fond of him and very, very close to the Perry family. We'll talk more about that, of course, as tonight unfolds, as well as the season broadcast here of Duluth FC Soccer unfold. But Blake Perry, 2 goals in his Duluth FC debut, one in the 10th minute, the second one in the 20th minute, and then additional tallies for the Blue-Greens coming from Kostya Domoratsky in the 39th minute, Felipe Oliveira in the 50th, Roy Carlson in the 51st, and Kyan Gantley in the 57th minute. So a very complete performance for the Blue-Greens in that win against the Joy Athletic down in St. Louis Park last time out for the Blue-Greens. Meanwhile, for Minneapolis City, they got 2 goals, 1 goal each, both goals in the second half. Cole Schwartz and Loic Masanvi scoring the goals for the Crows in that 2-0 win that they had over the Twin Stars of Minnesota in their first game at Minnetonka High School last Saturday. Both these teams playing their first games last Saturday of the season. And Brendan Daly, who is one of the starters here tonight, as we see on the screen here, he's one of the starters for the Blue-Greens. We'll talk more about the starting lineup here in just a moment, but he started in goal for the Blue-Greens, gave way to Michael Garahy, who came in the second half and played the last 27 minutes in pitching that shutout against Joy Athletic last Saturday.
Yeah, man. A couple guys just to watch out for, I think, on both squads. We mentioned a couple for Duluth FC. You mentioned Blake Perry and the job that he did. Just my connection to Blake, was very happy to see that as his first outing in a Blue-Greens uniform. On the other side, when you look at Minneapolis City, again, just a top to bottom, very deep team. A couple guys, that will be floating, I think, a little bit with their USL2 team. Another guy that I'm very familiar with, Jonah Garcia, in their first USL game against Des Moines last week, was actually player of the match for Minneapolis City. So he'll be in the center back position, and just a very strong player, very good technically, and a really good ball player. Lionel Vang for Minneapolis City in their U.S. Open Cup game scored on a set piece, had one in the run of play he almost scored on. Former Augsburg player, terrific player, small, crafty, very technically gifted and athletic. Another guy I think new to Minneapolis City that I've heard to look out for, Jorge Pacheco, is 19, actually played with the Mercy and U16 national team before coming here. He's coming in to play for John Lowry at University of St. Thomas this year. Talking to John Bisworm earlier today with Minneapolis City, he said he'll be a player to watch as well.
So that gives you an idea of where the Crows are at heading into the day. And with that being the case, let's give you the starting lineup now. For Duluth FC, head coach Sean Morgan in his second season, he prefers a 4-3-3 formation for the most part. And we'll get a look at the starting lineups here. Starting in the back, it'll be Brendan Daly, who gets the start again for Duluth FC. He's been kind of the stalwart in goal for the Blue Greens throughout his career. I'm not sure what number start this is, but he was the starter throughout last season, the season in which Duluth FC went 8-2-4 and finished in the top two in the MPSL North for the season, qualified for the playoffs the first time since 2019. Of course, the first place team last year, Minneapolis City. So the top two teams last year in the MPSL North standings, both meeting up here tonight on what is a picture-perfect night, really, for soccer here in the Duluth area. So Brendan Daly gets a start in goal, coach, and then we're looking at the rest of the starters here. And give us what your thoughts on each of these starters here. Is Jesse Juarez, another Augsburg college product, University of Augsburg. I'm not sure if they're a university or college, but Augsburg College product, played for Greg Holker. He's starting also defensively, also coming down in the starting lineup for Duluth FC. Number 4, Santiago Arrazo will get a start here today. There you go. Look at him. He will get a start in the opening 11 here in a 4-3-3 formation again for head coach Sean Morgan. And coach, if we want to keep on going down because I know you've seen these guys in practice, give us a kind of a rundown of what we can expect from each guy.
Yeah, so you mentioned Brendan Daly already, terrific goalkeeper. Expect him to be, I think, pretty busy tonight. You mentioned Jesse Juarez, young player at Augsburg University, and I know Greg Holker's very high on him, and we've seen him at UW Superior. He's a terrific player. Already made an impact here for Duluth FC as well. Santiago on the center back, terrific player, and plays on the left side there of Martin Griswa. And I think they've established already a good partnership between the two of them early on here. And then we get to number 6, Andres Solares, and he's going to be a player to watch. He plays like a true central defensive midfielder, and just crafty on the ball, very strong, very low center of gravity, and he makes things look so effortless. He'll be a really fun one tonight, Matt.
Also, Roy Carlson getting a start, number 7 for Duluth FC. He scored a goal in that win against Joy Athletic in the season opener. Starting also for Duluth FC tonight, number 8, Kyan Gantley, who also scored a goal. He's an Irish player, also a midfielder, kind of slash defender, plays a little bit of both for his college club. We'll talk more about that as we move around. Ukrainian in the starting lineup tonight for Duluth FC as well, number 10, Kostya Domorutsky. He comes in off of a season in which he played with several former and current Blue Greens for his college team, that being Christian Brothers. So he's a guy that has a lot of experience as far as knowing kind of Duluth FC, kind of the kind of guys that play for Duluth FC. Also starting will be number 14, Felipe Oliveira, another guy who scored last game for Duluth FC, a native of Brazil. Guy who's moved around quite a bit, but actually started his college career at LSC here in the Twin Ports metro area. So he'll be a guy that we'll keep an eye on. And of course, number 18, Blake Perry, a guy that you know very, very well. That's a good picture of Blake right there. That was after one of his 2 goals last week against Joy Athletic. All-time leading scorer in UW Superior men's soccer history, led the nation last year at the NCAA Division III level in both assists and total points. A guy, like I said, that you are very familiar with. He'll be joined up top by Peter Oyatunji, who is a guy that is kind of getting a start here tonight. They were saying that he's looked very good in training for the Blue Greens in the last week or so. They were looking for kind of a big physical presence. He's about 6'2", and he'll take up some space in the middle, and then rounding out the starting 11 for the Blue Greens here tonight. Number 24, Martin Griswa, a guy who has kind of anchored the back for Duluth FC over the years. I mean, he started most of last year as a central back, also played some outside back. Very good player, plays his college soccer at Mercyhurst University out east. So that's the starting lineup here for head coach Sean Morgan, there you go. Look at the formation that they're going to run tonight. Like I said, they usually run a 4-3-3. Pretty much look, they're going to try to get up and down. And if you talk to assistant coach, especially Craig Chudley, the emphasis this year is really on ball control and playing a very skilled level of soccer. So we'll see how that all plays out here tonight. There's the bench here for head coach Sean Morgan and the Blue Greens here in this season opener against Minneapolis City SC.
Matt, you mentioned at the end there Peter Oyatunji, and he's into the program now. Just in this last week, got in and already has made a real strong impact in their training sessions. You mentioned he's tall, he's very long, he covers a lot of ground. The other guy that I would expect to see here somewhat early on will be Sam Thornton, who's a UW Milwaukee current player. And between the two of them playing the true central forward number 9 positions. So to have those players in has actually shifted Blake Perry from the 9 that he played last week out wide now. And so that's really been about the only change from last week's lineup to this week's.
Yeah, no real reason for Duluth FC to change up much, especially with those 3 points. Just get a look at the MPSL North standings here after 1 week in Duluth FC, Minneapolis City, and Med City. No surprises, the top 3 teams in the North Division here to start. Sioux Falls and Dakota right now, both sitting on a point, while Lacrosse, Aris, Twin Stars, and Joy Athletic right now sitting with 0 points here after 1 week of action. So that gives you a quick update on where these teams are at here heading into this I-35 battle here between Duluth FC and Minneapolis City SC. With that being the case, we'll take an audio break, come back with the introduction of the 2 teams courtesy of our public address announcer, Patrick Stormer, and then we will come back with the opening kickoff of this MPSL North Division contest between Duluth FC and Minneapolis City SC. Right after this, you're watching Blue Green Soccer courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team.
Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to Public School Stadium. Tonight's MPSL match features Minneapolis SC versus your Duluth FC Blue Greens. Let's introduce the teams for tonight's matchup. The away team. The roster includes Troy Luwagi, Evan Siefkin, Aaron Olson, Jonah Garcia, Matthew Murakami, Nathan Streitz, Jameson Charles, Jorge Pacheco, Cole Schwartz, Charlie Adams, Lionel Vang, Arthur Perrins, Eli Lloyd, Abai Hapti, Javier Juarez, Nicholas Hutton, Miguel Ariano, and Luke Lindsay. The starting 11 for the Duluth FC Blue Greens. Starting at goal, number 1, Brendan Daly. Number 2, Jess Juarez. Number 4, Santiago Arazo. Number 6, Andre Solares. Number 7, Rory Carlson. Number 8, Kian Gantley. Number 10, Kostya Damaratsky. Number 14, Felipe Oliveira. Number 18, Blake the Scoreman Perry. Number 20, Peter Oyatunji. And number 24, Martin Griswold. Coaching your Blue Greens is Sean Morgan. Center ref for tonight's game is Jeremy Euchre. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stars and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were
All right, the national anthem has been played. The two teams have been introduced, and we're just about ready to get this MPSL home opener for the 2022 campaign for Duluth FC underway here from Public School Stadium in Duluth, Minnesota. Alongside my color commentator, Joe Mooney, this is Matt Johnson once again, bringing you all the play-by-play for another season of Duluth FC soccer. The Blue Greens trying to build on a season in which they finished second in the MPSL North a year ago. Meanwhile, Minneapolis City won their third straight MPSL North championship a season ago, so both teams made it to the MPSL Midwest Region playoffs. Duluth FC saw their season come to an end in a 3-2 overtime loss to Carpathia FC of Detroit, Michigan. That game was played here last, I guess that would be August, probably. Played July, maybe early August.
July.
Yeah, July, I think. Yeah, we'll go with July. Anyway, that was the last time that the Blue Greens were at home. Duluth FC, by the way, wearing different looking kits this season. We'll talk more about those as this campaign moves along, Duluth FC tonight will be wearing the green jerseys with the white shorts. They'll be going from right to left here on your screen in the opening 45 minutes here from Public School Stadium, while Minneapolis City will be going from left to right. They're wearing the pink jerseys with the blue trim. They'll be going from left to right in the opening 45 minutes. Coach, it's good to be back with you for another season of Duluth FC soccer here. A quick reminder, by the way, our next broadcast of Duluth FC soccer here, courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team, will come up this coming Tuesday, the 18th, as the Blue Greens return home to take on Minnesota Twin Stars. First time we'll have seen Twin Stars in a few years. They took a couple of years hiatus off from MPSL action, but they are back this season. That was the team in Minneapolis City. Tonight's opposition actually playing their first game, a 2-0 win for Minneapolis City. Meanwhile, Duluth FC, as we mentioned in our pregame, defeated Joy Athletic of St. Louis Park by the final score of 6-0. So two teams coming in here off of very impressive opening game performances, Coach, and should make for, like I said, an interesting contest here tonight for the home folks in Duluth, as the two teams now huddling just before the opening kickoff here in Duluth, and couldn't ask for a much better night for soccer. And for those of you who are native to the Twin Ports area or even the upper Midwest, you know that it's been a very cold and rainy spring, so we're more than happy to see the 75 degrees and plenty of sunshine here today for this home opener for Duluth FC.
Matt, I would expect a very pragmatic approach here in the opening minutes, especially. I don't think that we'll see the same scoreline that we did last weekend. I would expect, it's going to be a goal that'll be hard to find here or there. And I think both teams will be a lot more defensively sound, a lot more structure to them. And again, just as both teams have now had at least one game under their belt, just expecting them, I think, to settle into the game a little bit faster. Yeah,
we will see how the starting lineup that head coach Sean Morgan for Duluth FC chose here tonight impacts the game. The one change, Peter Oyotunji, stepping in to play kind of a center forward role here, the number 9 kind of spot. They're moving Blake Perrymore to the wing. They played the two forwards last week. This week they're going to try to run more of a 4-3-3 traditional look, although we'll see how that changes as the game moves along here. The two teams now at center field. Looks like Minneapolis City will kick off first here. We're just a moment or two away from getting this contest underway. Matt Johnson again alongside Coach Joe Mooney here from Public School Stadium. We're just about ready, like I said, to get this home portion of the 2022 MPSL North Conference schedule underway, and we are underway here as Minneapolis City SC, and those pink jerseys will start by playing the ball deep into their own territory. We'll see how much ball pressure the Blue Greens want to apply here in the early going here, and see if the two teams have a feeling out period or if they go right at each other here from the start. As Minneapolis City making their first foray forward into Blue Green territory, taking it in deep. As Charlie Adams getting a touch on it now for Minneapolis City SC, longtime Crow player, Charlie Adams. I believe he played his college soccer for Gustavus Adolphus, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, that's correct. Terrific player at the Division III level.
He was indeed. Ball comes near side now. It's Nathan Streitz who had it momentarily. Now it goes out of play. We'll have our first throw here of the evening. Less than a minute elapsed here. Again, thank you for joining us on a beautiful night for soccer here in Duluth. Hopefully we'll be able to say that more often than not here as the summer months move on. And speaking of Peter Oyotunji, there he is. Had the ball at his feet momentarily, now loses the handle on it. By Hopti now for Minneapolis City, playing it to the outside. There is the aforementioned Charlie Adams, and he'll go all the way back to his left outside back here. Minneapolis City in something of an interesting transition phase right now, Coach, in terms of what their overall look this season is going to be. especially as it relates to the MPSL, especially with their moving into the USL 2 also during this 2022 campaign. So they basically have what I would consider basically a player pool of guys that are playing both schedules. So the lineups change a little bit. The rosters may change from time to time for Minneapolis City, but an interesting look to see how the Crows adjust to life in another league this summer.
Matt, I think it's a really cool thing for soccer in Minnesota to have a team, and really two teams now with St. Croix Academy doing the same thing.
Lionel Vang, by the way, taking that free kick for Minneapolis City, and it'll bound all the way down to the far side. And tackled out of play, Jesse Juarez. And the newcomers for the Blue Greens, a lot of newcomers for this Duluth FC team this season, a lot of newcomers for Minneapolis City for that matter. So you got a lot of guys right now that not completely familiar with one another, other than perhaps playing each other at the college level. But for the most part, pretty new team. And now here's Peter Oyatunji for Duluth FC. He'll carrying over midfield. He's got Blake Perry making a run through the middle. Now we'll play it in for Perry. Perry now getting a step inside, and now coming off of his line is Troy Lewegi. And he will grab it near the top of his own 18. But nice forward run that time by the Blue Greens. Oyatunji trying to get to Blake Perry, the guy who had 2 goals last week. Nation's leading scorer at the Division III level this past season for UW Superior. And looked dangerous on that play, Coach.
Yeah, Matt, he had a nice run in there, going from left to right. Got into a good pocket of space and well handled by Jonah Garcia just to kind of shepherd him away from the ball. I expect to see a battle between those two players tonight.
Of course, Jonah Garcia, a former UW Superior player as well. So a match of a couple of Yellow Jackets, one current, one former. Has now a free kick. Speaking of Jonah Garcia, native of Eagan, Minnesota, there on the right foot for Minneapolis City. He'll send it to the far side now, right in front of the Duluth FC bench. And now a couple players coming together. And Duluth FC able to come away with the loose ball.
Matt, you see the quality there from Solaris already, just to get him and separate the player from the ball, and just what he does with his footwork after the fact. Like I said, I mean, he's a player that really stood out in training, really stood on that first match, and I'm excited to see how he does tonight as they settle in.
Will indeed. Ball comes back for Lewegi, and now he'll play it to the outside. Turnover now. It's played toward into the middle. Here's Domorutsky with a shot right on, and the save's going to be made by Lewegi. Turnover in their own end there by the Crows, and Domorutsky, the Ukrainian midfielder for Duluth FC, getting a good look there early on. Did not get it to go, of course, past the very tall, by the way, and lanky goalkeeper for Minneapolis City, but getting an early shot on goal there for the Blue Greens is Domorutsky. And we will now have a ball cleared over to the near side, and we'll have a throw here coming up for the Crows. Just about 5 minutes elapsed here in the opening half.
Matt, really good pressure there from Blake Perry to put pressure on the ball, and he does that. He's very deceptive. He'll eat up space, kind of one pass to the next, and then all of a sudden he'll turn on the jets. And he is really quick. He can go from 0 to 60 in a matter of steps. And you see the way he closed down space there to kind of create that turnover.
Now it's Jorge Pacheco that had it at his foot there for Minneapolis City. Taken away now. Here's Oyatunji running up on the left side wing. He'll take it in deep. Now it gets held up, and we'll have it tackled out, and they're going to give a throw here to the Crows, it looks like. Like I said, just about 5 minutes, coming up on 6 minutes elapsed here in the opening half, and a little bit of a feeling out process between the two sides. Not exactly a surprise, Coach, considering how many new players are out here for the two teams. And like I said, some of these guys haven't played a lot of game time together. So right now, just trying to get some of that chemistry.
Well, I think just a lot of veteran players, whether it be at the college or club level, whether or not they've played in with either one of these teams very much, just a veteran mindset to try to get settled in the game, not let anything, easy happen for either team. The last thing you want to do in a rivalry game like this is go down a goal early. And so, again, I think it's just a veteran, like you said, Matt, just feeling out process. And you would kind of expect that from both teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit, like I said, of a feeling out process. Both teams, I think, have a high amount of emphasis on possession as well, and try not to make too many mistakes in the early going here. As now Minneapolis City will come across midfield on the left foot. Curling ball comes over the top, headed away by Santiago Arazo for the Blue Greens. Tracked down, though, by the Crows, and they maintain now. Going to play it into space. They were looking there for Cole Schwartz. They'll come back now for Brendan Daly. Gets his first look at the ball here this evening. And now here's Arazo having the ball taken off of his foot. Now they try to play it into space. Nice job defensively there by Key and Gantley to come over and tackle that away. Minneapolis City maintaining possession in blue-green territory. There's Lionel Vang, former Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Player of the Year for Augsburg. And he's matched up on that far side, by the way, with the current Augsburg player and the Blue-Greens, Jesse Juarez. So all kinds of little interesting subplots like that here this evening. Where I saw a matchup of current and former UW Superior players, current and former Augsburg players also coming together on that far side, Coach. We'll see that, like I said, little interesting subplots like that throughout the night here. Martin Griswa now for Duluth FC will go back for Brendan Daly. Daly now will send it near side, Santiago Arazo. One of the newcomers this year for Duluth FC, big, strong player. Has a good head on his shoulders as well, and I do mean that literally and figuratively. He got his head to that ball through the middle. That looked a little bit dangerous as you get a look now at Andreas Solaris coming back now. Here's Griswa for Duluth FC. They have a Mississauga in the Toronto metro area in Ontario. Plays it near side here for Duluth FC. This is Arazo now with the left foot. Trying to play it forward now for Kostya Domorutsky, and he's going to get called on the offside.
Matt,
so nice, patient build-up play there from Duluth FC.
Matt, as we see Martin Griswa there, he's a player that I've highlighted as somebody that I really like to watch here throughout the year. He's a player that I think, last year, great season for the Blue-Greens, but...
Now here's a turnover coming in. Right-footed shot, and they score! Felipe Oliveira, the Brazilian, with the goal off the turnover, and it is 1-0 in favor of Duluth FC. That goal coming in the 9th minute. And the Blue-Greens, after scoring 6 last week against Joy, score first here in the 9th minute, and they lead it by the score of 1-0.
Matt, what a terrific play there by Felipe, and he was a player I wanted to talk about a little bit tonight. He's got a terrific story, has really been trying to crack his way into this blue-green lineup for the last couple of years, and has always kind of been a little bit on the outside looking in. Really strong player, Brazilian nationality, but hasn't been able maybe just on the athletic side to really crack his way in. And you see the work he's done, the development he's had, put him in a great position there. Really happy for him. Great goal.
Second goal of the season for Oliveira. He has some ties to the Twin Ports. We talked about that a little bit in the pregame, Coach. Played a year of college soccer at Lake Superior College, just up the road, and then also spent a year with Northeastern Junior College over in Sterling, Colorado. So he does have some ties to the area, but it's good to see Oliveira get on the score sheet here in the early going and give Duluth FC an early advantage here. That's Jonah Garcia now from Minneapolis City playing it forward. Domorutsky getting ahead to it now for Duluth FC. Now a turnover, and here's Oyatunji. Assistant coach Craig Chudley told me before the game that Oyatunji's been looking very, very good so far in training in the early going, hence the start here tonight.
Matt, the way he runs, it looks so effortless. You'll see him again, he's got a very long frame, and he just kind of eats up ground as he goes. Anytime he takes off, and what I think you'll really see is the way he can press a back line. And as a defender, you think you have time and space in front of you, and then all of a sudden Peter's up on you. He's been a fun player to watch here already.
Yeah, Peter Oyatunji, by the way, a college teammate of former Blue-Green Liam Condon. And now here's Blake Perry. Perry for the Blue-Greens, taking it into the 18, has his cross knocked down. But Duluth FC, that speed, giving the Crows a bit of a fit here so far. As Domorutsky now. Kostya Domorutsky will go back now into the middle. On the right foot is Martin Griswa. Griswa now trying to play it to the outside. Now they'll play it off into the corner. And Juarez now will play it off the outside defender, that being Lionel Vang, actually, that came over. Two Augsburg players coming together yet again, and it'll result in the first corner kick of the game coming up in the 11th minute here for Duluth FC. Blue-Greens up by a goal to nothing, looking to add to it here. As coming over to take it will be Rory Carlson, native of London, England, on the left foot here for Duluth FC. He scored a goal last week. And he plays this ball in the back. Now here's the header attempt. And it just went over the top. That off the head of Santiago Arazo. Fans got a little excited there, Coach. Hit the bar, but it was actually the football crossbar that it hit. So
anytime you see the net splash, there's reason to get excited, right?
But it was nice to be able to pick out Arazo on that back post, Coach, and a nice looping ball there with the left foot from Rory Carlson.
Yeah, great ball there. And you really wonder at this point in the year, neither team has had much time to actually work on set pieces. So offensively, they can at times look a little bit disjointed, but I'm sure both teams have tried to at least get some reps in training here over the first couple weeks.
Yeah, very active start for Arazo. Now here's a left-footed ball with the aforementioned, or off the foot of the aforementioned Arazo. Now here's Blake Perry. He'll play it, and it's now forward. Chipping over the top now is Rory Carlson trying to step through. Now the ball's popped up in the air. Oliveira looking for another chance at goal there, and Lewegi will come to the top of his 18 and hold on to it.
That's twice now that we've seen Oliveira break the line from the midfield where he's actually making the overlap over the forwards and into space, and that's what got him out of that first goal. There again, getting into that positive space. I know that's been a point of emphasis for Sean Morgan to try to get his two attacking center mids to release into that positive space behind the back line, and that may be a key for them to get a few more chances here in the first half.
By Hopti now for Minneapolis City. Now here's a nice 1-2 passing play that results in space now for Kian Gantley. Gantley on the left foot, playing it in the space, looking for Oyotunji, and it's just a little bit beyond him. Coming in now, trying to track it down as Carlson, and he gets upended by Lewegi, who did a nice job of smothering that ball. But Duluth FC playing the wings well right now, Coach, especially this left side wing. That was a nice setup right there.
Yeah, that was a really nice 1-2, like you said, between Kian and Blake Perry there. And a really nice ball from Kian Gantley there. And that's something you train your forwards to do, your wide forwards to do, is to send that ball in behind the back line, get the back line turned, and just try to get one of your forwards to run onto it. And unfortunately, Peter was just a step off of it, but that's one that it's a high percentage ball that is going to find its way in the back of the net if you play it enough times.
Another turnover here is Damarutsky now playing in the space looking for Oyotunji. He got tackled hard on the outside. That was Jonah Garcia that got a piece of him, and Oyotunji is still down. And it looks like we're going to have a stoppage here, at least momentarily here, while the 6'2" Nigerian forward tries to get himself back up. Like I said, plays his college soccer for the University of West Alabama, Division II school, and he's a teammate of former Blue Green Liam Condon, by the way.
Yeah, I was bummed. I talked to Liam earlier in the year. It sounded like he might try to come back for one more summer. But got himself a nice big boy job, and
he did. I saw that on Facebook.
Now,
yeah.
So congrats to Liam, a proud alum here, and we're happy for him. He's off to doing some pretty big things.
Yeah, he played a lot of minutes at the left outside back position for Duluth FC his 2 years here. So congratulations to Liam. Hope he's watching somewhere and enjoying the broadcast here as this ball now coming in. Here's Jonah Garcia sending it near side on the right foot. Now Nathan Streitz being pestered by Blake Perry. We're going to have a whistle now and a foul called against Duluth FC. It'll be a free kick here for the Crows in the 15th minute here, Coach. Your impressions here a quarter of an hour in?
I think we've seen everything we thought we were going to in that first 15 minutes. Aside from a goal, I mean, I thought maybe we remained scoreless, but really a goal that came out of nothing. Felipe Oliveira with the takeaway and going straight to goal. Really great job there. And here we go with another chance here for Minneapolis City.
Yeah, this is Hopti now coming in on the right foot, trying to get into space with a shot. And that one deflects wide. That one taken off the left foot by Arthur Perrins, the forward.
I think it was actually Cole Schwartz on that last ball there. Okay. Yeah. And you saw Abai Hopti there, terrific player, taking the space in front of him, driving through that space, and creating that chance, and then obviously to send that ball over to Cole Schwartz. And that's not one that Cole missed very often. No, that was a good look there. Schwartz, who scored one of their 2 goals in the 2-0 win against Minnesota Twin Stars, in their season opener last Saturday. That game was played at Minnetonka High School in the Twin Cities. Right about the same time that Duluth FC was playing their season opener against Joy Athletic, also in the Twin Cities, and St. Louis Park High School. So Duluth FC now off the restart. Arazo now going over there for Martin Griswa, who, by the way, is wearing the captain's armband tonight. Normally we'd see Jake Starling doing that. He's on the bench here today. We'll join the team a little bit late, but we might see Jake enter the game at some point here. Had a chance to catch up with him before the game. And he's happy to be back. His 3rd season as a Blue-Green. And I think he's going to set the club record for most games ever played in a Blue-Green jersey before his career is all said and done. He's played a lot of minutes for Duluth FC over the years. Those of you who are familiar with the Blue Greens, you know that Jake Starling has become something of a household name for the Blue Greens over the years. Matt, he might set the record for most uniforms stretched out. I think every time he comes back, he's got about 10 more pounds of muscle. Boy, he must find the gym quite often in between summers here.
Yes, he is a very well-built young man, that's for sure.
And just a great guy, great leader.
Yeah, he's.
I know, Coach Morgan obviously very happy to get him back. You can't buy that kind of experience and leadership, you don't find it in very many players. And Jake has just been a terrific ambassador for this club.
He totally has. He was the team captain throughout last year, and I expect that he'll wear the captain's armband more often than not here as the 2022 season moves along as well. In the meantime, here's Arazo now for Andres Solaris in the middle. Arazo now getting the ball right back. Picks out Domorutsky. Kostya Domorutsky now with the ball, trying to angle it for Rory Carlson, and now a 1-2 passing play there between Oliveira, trying to get it into the middle for Rory Carlson. Just kind of missed him by about a foot or two there, coach, and allowed the Waggy to come to the top of his 18 and scoop that ball up.
Matt, a really athletic play there for Matt Murakami, another Gustavus player, to just get his head on that ball. He really had to stretch out there and almost make a diving attempt at it to disrupt that play, and did exactly what he needed to do there in the center back position.
On the throw now coming up for Kean Gantley. I have a couple of Irish-born players on this blue-green team this year. Michael Garahy, who's a backup keeper for Duluth FC tonight, also an Irish-born player, as Domorutsky now gets brought down, and that foul is going to be called against Arthur Perrin, so it'll be a free kick here coming up for Duluth FC, just about right at midfield here, 18th minute. And the Blue-Greens up by the score of 1-0, in case you're just joining us. Felipe Oliveira unassisted off of a turnover. That goal happening in the 9th minute, and that's where we stand. 1-0 your score here. Duluth FC and Minneapolis City SC, thank you for taking some time out of your Saturday evening to join us here for MPSL North Soccer.
Matt, before that last goal was scored, we were talking about Martin Griezwa a little bit, and just the development that we've seen in him over the course of a year. He's another player, I think, probably put on about 8-10 pounds in between summers here. But what I've been really impressed with is just his presence and his leadership amongst the team. He seems so much more confident this summer. Really feels like, I think feels like he's got the club behind him. Feels very comfortable with Coach Morgan and sort of the rest of the squad out there.
As Blake Perry setting a ball in for Jesse Juarez, who was coming right down the middle from his outside back position, coach. And good look there for Jesse Juarez, the Augsburg Augie. And a nice look that time, like I said, by Blake Perry there. Perry's being able to find some space on the wings there, coach.
Yeah.
Led the nation with 20 assists last year at the NCAA Division III level, and doing a nice job there picking out Juarez, who was coming in on the weak side on a run there. Saw that play a lot, I know, when he plays for you.
Yeah.
During his fall campaigns.
And Matt, just to put a quick plug in there, Blake Perry had 20 assists this year. The next closest player in the nation had 14. So if that puts some context into just how special that is to hit 20 assists in a season, really great season. Not upset at all that he's going to come back and do it one more time for us.
No, the all-time leading goal scorer in UW Superior men's soccer history. Helped the Yellow Jackets score 101 goals last year, which also led the nation. And we'll have a free kick now coming up for the Crows.
So I know that if Eric Watson is listening to this at all, he's going to put an asterisk on Blake Perry's goal scoring record just because he's got that extra year of eligibility. So even though he did it in 4 years, Waddy wants to put an asterisk on it.
Speaking of another former Blue-Green, by the way, Eric Watson, who got a professional tryout, I believe, and did he actually go for that camp now, or is he? We can talk more about that as we move on here.
He did sign over there. And has had a great kind of second half of the year here. Gotten onto the pitch a few times for his club there, and just a terrific experience for him. And again, very proud of everything he's been able to accomplish there.
Kostya Domorutsky there, the Ukrainian for Duluth FC, able to win that ball back. And now here's a turnover near midfield by Martin Griezwa. Picked off now. Here's Lionel Vang on the right foot. Vang, nifty player, now plays the floor for Arthur Perrins into space. And coming off of his line now to clear it over midfield is going to be Brendan Daly, but the flag goes up near side. We'll have an offside called against the Crows here in the 21st minute now.
Even though that was called offside, Matt, I'm really glad to see Brendan Daly that quick off his line and just to not allow kind of any thought that we can get in easy behind that back line there. So good for him just to come out and clear that out, even though it would have eventually been called off anyways.
Daly, of course, another returner here for Duluth FC from last year's team. Played the vast majority of minutes in goal last year for Duluth FC and has started the first 2 games, of course, this season. No surprise there for those of us who watched him. Very solid goalkeeper for head coach Sean Morgan.
talking to their goalkeeper, Coach Corey, he's really happy with the goalkeeping squad there this year. All three of them, he said, are MPSL quality goalkeepers. It's good to put a little pressure on your number one goalkeeper. That said, I think Brendan Daly has done enough to solidify his number one spot in sort of the body of work that he's shown last year and this year already.
Duluth FC has gained a reputation for having excellent goalkeepers over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Brendan Daly, just the latest in that long line of Duluth FC goalkeepers who have played extremely well and have gained notice not only from the MPSL North Division, but also around the league. We go all the way back to Jan Hoffelner, who won the Goalkeeper of the Year award, Golden Gloves, for the MPSL. That was in 2018 when Duluth FC advanced all the way to the national semifinals, emerged as Midwest Region champions. Got a chance to look at that cup earlier today. That was a fun year, Coach. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, and you talk about Jan there, and then obviously that was Alberto Soroy's first year here
That was,
as well.
yeah.
And to try to pick a number one starter between those two players, I never envied Joel Person's job there. Both terrific goalkeepers, in either one of them at their best could have been, I think, one of the top goalkeepers in the entire league.
Well, Soroy came back the following year and ended up being the starter for Duluth FC. Just to give you an idea, those two actually split time in 2018 and helping lead Duluth FC to the national semifinals. So that was an interesting tandem. Those two worked very well together.
Yeah.
As now this is Troy Lewegi for Minneapolis City, sitting into the far side. Headed up in the air near midfield. And now we'll go out of play. Last touch by the Blue Greens. There'll be a throw here coming up for the Crows right in front of their own bench. Taking this toss, it's Aaron Olson. Ball through the middle now, stepping up. Getting his head to it there was Juarez. Now the ball to the outside, and again tackled out, this time by Solaris. Been very impressed so far with Andres Solaris and also Santiago Razo so far in the middle, Coach. They've been keeping things pretty well together there in the middle here for Duluth FC through the first 23-plus minutes.
Matt, the rumor is on Solaris, he covers a ton of ground, especially for a 6, for a holding center mid. The rumor is that in one of his spring league games this past year, he had a 60-minute shift and ran 11K in that 60-minute shift, which is just unreal.
Yeah, that's a lot of movement. So he does not lack for hustle, as we now have a Minneapolis City player down on the far side. Looks like he got chopped on the ankle, perhaps.
I think that's Murakami down.
That'd be a big loss for them. Matt Murakami has been a long time Crows contributor.
Yeah.
This team being coached by a different coaching staff, by the way, than we're used to seeing. And the training staff here from St. Luke's going to come over and have a look here. That'll give us a chance to catch up on what else is going on here as the clock continues to move here. 25th minute. If you're just joining us, the only goal so far here on the evening, courtesy of Felipe Oliveira, the Brazilian, off of a turnover by the Crows. About 20, 25 yards away from their own goal. Defensive pass was picked off by the Brazilian. Oliveira came in, showed good patience, and slid the shot underneath Troy Lewegi. And that's where we stand right now, 1-0 your score in favor of the Blue Greens at Duluth FC. And Coach, game has settled down a little bit here. Both teams playing a lot of balls in between the 18s. Not a lot of in-deep chances here so far, but both teams have had good spells of possession here in the early going, and both teams have had some pretty decent looks towards goal, though, other than the goal by Oliveira, not a whole lot of real dangerous chances either way.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I would expect to see from City that they've been kind of known for over the last couple of years is to try to get their fullbacks, their outside backs, a little bit more involved in the game. I would expect to see them as the game goes on here to get a bit higher and higher. And I think what you'll see is their forwards tuck in and play a little bit more centrally, try to combine with the center forward. And as that happens, really giving free rein to those fullbacks to get higher up the pitch and create a little bit more of the offensive production.
There'll be a free kick here for the Crows, it appears, on the far side.
And I think they showed a yellow card to Peter. Is that right?
I did not actually notice that. If they did, we will hopefully get an announcement on that.
Yeah.
Right, getting confirmation that it was Peter Oyatunji who does get the game's first yellow, that coming in the 24th minute. So off the restart, Murakami looks like he's all right, thankfully. Plays it back for Lewegi, and now a ball forward. That ball High ball played toward the midfield stripe, headed out of play by Solaris on the far side. So we'll have a throw here coming up for the Crows as we're in the 27th minute.
Man, I love when a 5'7" player like that plays like he's 6'2" and starts winning balls in the midfield. Again, he's just everywhere.
He is, and we're going to have another foul here called against Duluth FC. This is going to be Solaris this time, it appears. And the Crows want to go quickly. Here's Charlie Adams now, getting set up by Oliveira. Tomarutsky also there for Duluth FC. Now Oliveira coming across midfield. He gets hit from behind, and that's going to be a card. Yeah, pulling the card here on Charlie Adams, who pleads his case here to center referee Jeremy Euchre, but you can see that one was coming, Coach. That was, whenever you come in from a player like that on that angle, after turning over the ball, you're always going to get booked on that one.
Yeah, no malice there from Charlie Adam. I think just going hard for the ball. I think it's it's a card for tactical foul, just in behind the midfield there with numbers going forward. You take the player down, you're probably going to see a yellow card again just for a tactical call.
We're going to have a free kick now coming up. Santiago Arazo is going to play it short here for Tomarutsky. And now Duluth FC going to build on the far side. Martin Griezwa back for Arazo. Now showing outside. This is Solaris with it. Andreas Solaris on the right foot. Now Duluth FC going to try to play some possession football here as the ball comes forward. Nice touch near side there by Gantley. Now it's Blake Perry for Oyatunji. Peter Oyatunji now getting a step. He measured on the outside by Jonah Garcia. Now ball comes into the middle. Here's Perry. Trying to send it toward the 6. Now Oyatunji with a shot, and that one will go wide. First time we've really seen a penetrating run here from Duluth FC. Good look for Oyatunji, but that speed on the wing and then the hold-up play there by Oyatunji almost resulting in a good look at goal there, Coach.
Matt, a lot of really good just kind of 1 and 2 touch passing there from Duluth FC.
Oh, ball popped up now off the restart on the outside. As Oliveira now trying to pop it up to the outside. Oyatunji was there, but some good skill being shown here by Duluth FC.
This goal kick sponsored by
Matt, I think as the summer wears on here, hopefully we'll see it a little bit more in the game. One thing I'm sure Sean Morgan will want to work on is as you see some of the center midfielders check in when the ball's in the back line, you'll see Solaris or even you'll see Kostia check in. And a couple times when I've seen that now, it's been real stagnant in front of them. It seems like the forwards and the wingers are just kind of holding on the line. There's no real depth that comes in behind them. And I think that'll be something as they start working on those planes to see, that extra plane start to surface a little bit as that check comes in, just to give more options for the back line as they try to play out.
Free kick now coming up will be Matt Murakami who will take it here. Former Gustavus Adolphus player. As Coach Joe Mooney so eloquently stated earlier on. And off the free kick, sending it near side. And now a ball being tackled out by Kian Gantley. Off the foot of Jorge Pacheco, who is a player I know that you highlighted in the pregame. Player that Minneapolis City is very excited about as this corner kick comes in, tapped away, parried away by the right hand of Brendan Daly, kept in now by the Crows. Now here's a ball toward the back post. That's going to overshoot everybody. And we will have a goal kick here coming up for Duluth FC as we are about a half hour elapsed here. And we will have a goal kick here coming up. Brendan Daly will take it, plays it short here. Here's Santiago Arazo. Pass a little bit heavy that time, looking for Gantley. Picked off now by Arthur Perrins, and he'll send it all the way back to his own 18 for Troy Lewegi, who will send it toward the midfield stripe. Headed down now, here's Solaris. Giving way now for Arazo. Arazo, left-footed ball into space. Looking for Rory Carlson, but the flag goes up far side. We will have a second offsides whistle here against Duluth FC. This one whistle against Rory Carlson. We have several Englishmen on this team for head coach Sean Morgan. And now off the restart. Jonah Garcia on the right foot for Lionel Vang. Those two have played a lot of soccer as well for the Crows. As they go back now, here's Lewegi. Lewegi now sending it toward the midfield stripe. Gantley had it at his foot momentarily. And now a nice job by Kean Gantley to play that off of Nathan Strites. It'll be a throw now coming up for Duluth FC right near the midfield stripe. Gantley, a hard-nosed player. And for Oyatunji. Solaris. Getting tangled up over there with Pacheco. Now it's Oyatunji coming out there with it.
Nice footwork there from Kostya.
Oyatunji now on the wing. Speaking of Kostya, Domorotsky, there he is. Domorotsky now will try to take it deep, and he'll have it tackled off of his foot. And they're going to say it was last touched by the Ukrainian midfielder here for Duluth FC. We'll have a throw coming up deep in Crow's territory. They want to go quickly here. As it comes in now for Pacheco, trying to head it back. And Perrins had it near sideline. They're going to say it's again off of a Duluth FC foot. So we'll have another throw here coming up. I believe at halftime we're going to try to get a interview with assistant coach Craig Shudley. Well, we're going to get a foul called here now near midfield, and we're going to have a free kick, I think, coming up here for the Crows. Perrins wants to take it quickly, and he will do so. In the middle now here for Charlie Adams, who's playing on a yellow card, as is Peter Oyatunji for Duluth FC. As this one comes near side. Strites had it, tackled up by Perry. Now Strites' throw in for Pacheco. Tried to turn and go before the ball was at his foot. And now Duluth FC turns it back over. Here's Gantley. Blake Perry now trying to tightrope the sidelines, gets it in for Oyatunji, and now here's Perry. Perry's got some space now with which to work. And now it'll be slid away on a nice defensive play there by Matt Murakami. But that was dangerous there for Minneapolis City.
Yeah, you can't give Blake Perry too many looks like that. He's going to get in behind you at some point. Really nice athletic defensive play there from Murakami again.
And a throw coming up here now for Duluth FC. It'll be Gantley to take it. Gets it in now for Solaris. Tried to play it back to the outside. That one's going to be picked up by Pacheco. One of the younger players on this Minneapolis City team. And now Solaris will tackle it out. We'll have a throw coming up here. We have about 11, maybe 12 minutes plus stoppage time here remaining in the opening half. 1-0 your score. Duluth FC in the lead. The goal to Felipe Oliveira, his second of the 2022 campaign. Unassisted to make it 1-0. That goal coming early on in the 9th minute. And that's all the scoring we've had here so far through now going into the 35th minute of the opening half here. And we'll have a throw coming up here now for the Blue-Greens, who have looked for a team that just came together about 2 weeks ago. They looked pretty sharp here so far, Coach. Throw comes in, headed down by Oyatunji. Trying to play it through was Oliveira, the goal scorer. Now it's Charlie Adams. Adams coming forward. Now he hits the deck, and we're going to have a foul called this time on Domorotsky. And now we're going to have a conversation between Jeremy Euchre and Kostya Domorotsky. And
yeah, and I maybe understand Coach's frustration there a little bit. I think he did get the ball first. I mean, obviously there was some contact initiated there, but it seemed like he was in the space. And that's one of those where it's probably just a 50-50 call, and you get half of them, the other half go against you.
There'll be a free kick here coming up. Jonah Garcia looks like he'll be the one to take it here. Sends it toward the top of the 18. Headed down by the Blue-Greens. Now Oyatunji wins it back. Now here's Domorotsky to the outside. Now Blake Perry. Perry on the right foot. There's a Minneapolis City player down behind the play as this one sent to the top of the 18 and now headed back on a nice play for Lewagi. And the Minneapolis City player is still down. And it looks like we will now have a stoppage here. And he will be 10-2. Didn't think there was anything dirty in there.
I think it's Charlie Adams.
Yeah, is it Charlie Adams that's down? I think it is. So Murakami went down earlier. Now it's Charlie Adams that's down here for the Crows. So a couple of important pieces to the puzzle here for Minneapolis City.
Yeah, it looked like just a good, strong, challenge coming together there. Those can hurt. I mean, you take a knee or a hip into your low back or into your hip, and you're kind of, as you're stepping into the ball, you're kind of left defenses a little bit there, and those can sting.
So we have a stoppage on the field. Looks like, it is a lower back issue of some sort. And it is Christy Wilkie of St. Luke's, who has been the long-time athletic trainer for Duluth FC for these home games out there having a look at Charlie Adams, who still a little bit slow in getting up. Both teams now going to take the opportunity to have a bit of a water break here, Coach. And flagpole's looking a little limp over on the far side. I don't know if there might be some gusts or some swirling winds out there, but so far so good for Duluth FC in their home opener here. And now Adams is up and about to walk off here, so walking off under his own power, a little bit gingerly, but looks like he'll probably be able to return to the game, I should say, without too much trouble here. I would hope anyway.
Yeah, it looks like they do have a player warming up on the far side, but I would think that he's probably going to get checked out. And again, hopefully all is well there. Charlie Adam, a long-standing Crow, and really kind of a staple of soccer in Minnesota in some ways. Sure hope he's okay, and I'm sure he'll be able to find a way to get back out of the pitch here.
We'll have a drop ball here from center referee Jeremy Euchre. And the Waggy now will take the opportunity to bring it into his own box, and he'll now roll it near side. This is Jonah Garcia on the right foot, now tackled off of his foot. The long legs of Peter Olyantunji, who stands about 6'2".
There again, you just see some of his closing speed, right?
It's one of the taller forwards that the Blue Greens have had over the years as the throw comes in now. Looking for Cole Schwartz toward midfield. That one brought down. Now a Duluth FC player hits the deck, that being Arazo. Now here's an opportunity for Minneapolis City, Pacheco trying to play it back into the middle for Schwartz, and getting back there was Arazo, and he'll clear it away with the left foot. Good job by Duluth FC to track back. That could have been a dangerous opportunity for the Crows.
Yeah, I like that ball from Cole Schwartz a lot, actually. I mean, if it was just a bit more diagonal to hit the runner in his path, might have been better. But, just the weight that he put on it and to do that in one touch and kind of a transitionary moment there just shows some of the quality from Cole Schwartz there and shows why he's the player that he is.
Throw coming up now will be Streitz that'll take it. In for Perrins, now brought down. Hopti had it momentarily. Good job of shielding Hopti away from the ball by Oliveira. Turnover, and now here's Duluth FC trying to counter back to their direction. Blake Perry on the left foot, ball through the middle. Dummied through now, here is Domorotsky. Goes to Domorotsky for Duluth FC. On the right foot, now he'll turn away and make a patient pass all the way back for Arazo, who will now try to ping it to the far side. And the flag goes up again.
Yeah, I think Juarez had just stepped offside and tried to come back on, from an offside position. Good one-touch ball there from Arazo.
Off the restart. Murakami now on the right foot. It was a nice job to pick out Nathan Streitz on the near side. Now lobs it over the top. Here's Pacheco. Jorge Pacheco on the right foot. And he'll be tackled out of play by Arazo.
Good cover there from Arazo. Ganley got caught a little bit in no man's land where he had to step out of position and kind of left the left side open. But Arazo was aware of it and a really good kind of diagonal recovery run there from him.
Opti now will play it all the way back. Charlie Adams, by the way, is back out there, though he is still favoring his back a little bit. So we'll see if that continues to be an issue for him. In the meantime, now it's Olyatunji out the turnover.
Yeah, hopefully for Adams, it's just a matter of making it through these next 5 minutes and getting to halftime, find a way to stretch it out and get back in again. He adds a lot of quality to that Minneapolis City side.
Now there's a ball that's sent to the far side. Able to tightrope it on that far wing. It's Lionel Vang. Vang coming in now 3-on-3. There's the handle on it. We're going to have a foul called now on Duluth FC. About 20 yards away from goal. Dangerous spot here for the Crows.
Matt, he's such a fun player to watch. He just glides with the ball at his feet. He gets so many short steps in between each touch on the ball. It makes it really hard to defend because he can change directions with the ball then in any one of those steps. And you see him just kind of glide through defenders that way.
They'll stand over this one now, like I said, about 20 yards away from Brendan Daly's goal here to our right. Lionel Vang.
And this is a specialty of his, Matt. He's a really good dead ball specialist. I would expect him to put this on frame.
So Vang, there's no other player that's standing over the ball right now for the Crows. There's a 4-player wall right now for Duluth FC. As Vang stands over it. Look at a shot right into the wall. Some good height in that wall.
Yeah. I think
Tunji was in there.
yeah,
Arazo was
Peter-
also in there.
I think Peter took the brunt of that. He's still shaking his head a little bit. Good for him for being brave and just taking that ball square on. Because if he didn't, Matt, that was heading to the top corner.
Yeah. Peter Tunji got some hops to him as well as being 6'2" coach, which
Yeah, and he's actually kind of going to come off here, it looks like, and maybe just get checked out quick. Hopefully he's okay.
Don't need any head trauma in this game.
No. That's one of those, too, where I think if that ball is 5 yards out, it actually maybe goes into Vang's favor a little bit. At that range, just 18, 19 yards, it's really hard for a player to get enough dip on the ball to get over the wall and come back down and be on frame. But if you're 5 yards or 10 yards out further, you can put a little bit more movement on the ball and just give it enough time to dip.
We're going to have a drop ball, looks like, here again. We've had a few stoppages here, so I'd be surprised if we don't have 4, maybe 5 minutes of added time here, Coach, before the first half whistle goes. Officially, we're in the 43rd minute here, but it's like we're just waiting on the drop ball here. Blake Perry for Duluth FC. Charlie Adams, meanwhile, standing over it.
I would think City's just going to send us back into Daly there. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I guess not.
When you're in a Derby game there, Matt.
Ball now to the outside. Murakami with the inside flick. Picked off on a nice play there by Solaris. Now for Perry. Touches it into space, looking for Tunji, who thankfully is back out there, Coach. Just the apparently a momentary look there from the training staff. And now here's Perry. Blake Perry now. Tried to clip it over the top for Tunji, headed away by Murakami, who's had a busy first half here for for Minneapolis City.
Matt, as you watch Blake Perry playing, for the folks watching at home, one of the things that you'll notice about him is he does so much movement as he's approaching the ball. It's the little shoulder feints, it's the little hip movement to try to throw a defender off. And what he's looking for is for that defender to go off balance. And as soon as he notices the defender shift his balance, that's when he's going to take the ball a different direction.
Here's Rory Carlson now off the turnover. Duluth FC trying to counter back the other direction. Oliveira, the goal scorer, now on the outside. Comes all the way back now for Lewegi. And Troy Lewegi with the right foot now will play it off into no man's land, and it'll be a throw here coming up for the Blue Greens. Good pressure by Duluth FC to create that turnover, Coach.
Absolutely. We talked about Oliveira, obviously the goal scorer, a little bit earlier, and I think one of the things that I've noticed on him this summer too is just there's an extra bit of fitness level to him, and I think it's why he's covering some more ground, and I think it's put him in better positions, and it's made him a much more effective player.
Duluth FC now trying to work it on the outside off the throw. Now here's Juarez. Juarez had it momentarily. Murakami now will clear it back toward midfield. Cole Schwartz comes back for it. Now they'll send it to the far wing. Bang had it at his foot momentarily.
Nicely done there from Martin Griezwa.
Yeah, Griezwa, who, like I said, started much of last year in a central defensive role alongside Scott Wilson for Duluth FC. Capable of playing on the wing, though, as we've seen. Now Tunji plays it back. Here's Oliveira. Deflected. Now here's Carlson for Blake Perry. Perry now on that favored left foot. Will go back now. Domorotsky. Kostya Domorotsky now on the outside. Kian Gantley. Gantley now on the right foot. Looking for an outlet. Instead, he'll go all the way back now for Arazo. And Arazo now will go back and use Brendan Daly. And Duluth FC now will try to switch the field here.
I think Duluth just being a little bit conservative with some of the runs forward there. That's the second time I've seen Blake Perry check off the back line and receive the ball. And what he's looking for is he's looking for somebody to overlap him onto his left. And that run hasn't come.
Now here's a ball near side. And that one's going to skim the head of Pacheco near side. So there'll be a throw here coming up for Duluth FC. It'll be taken by Kian Gantley.
And those are some of the things, Matt, I think that as the season goes on, it's just the chemistry will come along a lot.
Tunji now. Domorotsky. And we're going to have a foul called now on the Ukrainian midfielder, and we will have a free kick for the Curls. And I agree with you, Coach. Those are the kind of plays that will come as time moves along here. Sometimes it's hard to keep in mind that these players have played together for all of about 2.5 weeks.
And most of them not even that, right? Like some of these players just got in, in the latter half of this week.
Now it's Lionel Vang. Vang now trying to release Murakami on the outside, being measured over there by Jesse Juarez for Duluth FC. Now Murakami bending ball in. Flicked up in the air there by Cole Schwartz. There was nobody in the Minneapolis City jersey there. But again, that's one of those plays, Coach, you don't see the connections on that as often because these players both ways, haven't played a lot of game action with each other.
Yeah, I think it's the right ball to be played there from Cole Schwartz. He's not going to generate enough power to get that one on frame and actually test Daly on it. So to try to get that ball back across the face of goal there was the right call. Just a bit of a mishit and maybe a miscue from the runners coming through.
Yeah, because there was nobody there in a pink jersey that was making a run through. That was basically, he had that in open space. And I agree, it was the right play by Schwartz. But again, that's that timing thing, being able to read that play, second ball, and trying to play forward on that.
Absolutely. Matt, one of the things, in talking to Sean Morgan here throughout the week, he was really kind of keying in on was, they haven't played a lot together. Again, some of the guys have just gotten in the second half of the week here, but they are, he said there's such a high soccer IQ amongst a lot of these guys that they know how to play the game. They're students of the game. So, as soon as they figure out what system they're playing into, there's enough soccer minds in there that they can figure it out and start to string things together pretty quickly.
We're in the third minute now of added time here in the opening half. We'll see how much more. Center referee Jeremy Euchre wants to add here. Not surprising that we have 2, perhaps 3, maybe even 4 or 5 minutes of added time here, depending on the center referee, Mr. Euchre's discretion here. In the meantime, it is still 1-0 Duluth FC in the lead. That goal coming way back in the 9th minute. Feels like a long time ago now, but Felipe Oliveira with his second goal of the season in the 9th minute off of a turnover. It was a really nice patient finish as well.
Yeah, he took that really well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And we'll have a throw coming up now. Kean Gantley will take the toss here for the Blue Greens as the throw comes in, looking for Domaratsky. That one's going to be flicked up in the air. Now it'll go back out.
Boy, Charlie Adams is still holding his back out there.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be with him probably the rest of the night, perhaps, because he has not stopped grabbing that back since he hit the turf hard here at Public School Stadium. And now we're going to have a foul throw called, or are they going to say that's halftime? Nope, looks like it's going to be halftime. So the whistle goes. First 45 minutes are in the books, Coach. Not bad for Duluth FC. They lead at 1-0 at the half. And your impressions of the opening 45 minutes here?
Well, Matt, I think we knew, again, that this was going to be a really good football match. We were going to see a really high level of play, a really high quality out there. And we've seen exactly that. We've seen, I think, again, a pragmatic approach. You mentioned this about 30, 35 minutes in, that a lot of it was being played between the 18s, and it has been. That said, I think there's been some good sequences. And like you said, they're starting to find some of that chemistry and just kind of find their footing a little bit. I would be very surprised if the second half went scoreless, though. I think both teams are going to come out, a little bit more guns blazing, and I think we're going to see some exciting football here in the second half.
1-0 your score. Recapping the scoring, Felipe Oliveira with his second goal of the 2022 campaign off of a turnover. That goal coming in the 9th minute, and that's where we stand right now at halftime. Your score: Duluth FC 1, Minneapolis City SC 0. We'll take a quick break, come back with more halftime programming right after this. This is Duluth FC Soccer, courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team.
Yeah, I know.
First half.
Can't wake you happy now.
For your heart. For your hope. For your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future. For your passion. For your work. For your life. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future. For your heart. For your hope. For your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future. For your passion. For your work. For your life. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future.
Back here at Public School Stadium here in Duluth, Matt Johnson alongside head coach of the University of Wisconsin Superior men's team, Joe Mooney, and it's 1-0 Duluth FC leading Minneapolis City SC in the I-35 Derby, I guess is the closest thing that we can call it now, Coach. Impressive first half by both teams. There was a lot of good possession both ways. Physical game, a couple of injury stoppages in that opening 45 minutes, but overall, pretty well played by both teams, and you add it all up, and it's a 1-0 Duluth FC lead right now, courtesy of the goal by Felipe Oliveira. But overall, pretty good 45 minutes of action here so far in the home opener of 2022 for Duluth FC.
Yeah, man, I think the biggest thing that I noticed in the first half, the difference between the two teams, was the way that they pressed. And I think that Duluth just made it a lot easier to press. I think that they made the play a lot more predictable. There were times in the midfield where it was almost like Solaris or Kostya or even Felipe were looking for that ball. Like they were waiting for it, anticipating it, and just in that space already ready to pounce on it. I think they did a really good job of pressing in the first half, and I think that was the difference, and you saw it in the scoreline.
Quick reminder, folks, St. Luke's, is proud to sponsor Duluth FC. When it comes to injury prevention, treatment, and recovery, their great orthopedics and sports medicine team has you covered. Learn more at slhduluth.com/ortho. Again, that's slhduluth.com/ortho.
We mentioned, St. Luke's and Christy Wilkie out there. She had a busy first half. Hopefully she can kind of just
relax a little bit in the second half. Yeah.
We don't want to see any more injuries for either side here. But Christy, man, she's been a long time athletic trainer, and
she has been
experienced, and we know the players are in good hands with her.
She has been the lead athletic trainer for Duluth FC, I think, basically since the beginning. I can't remember having any other head trainer for Duluth FC. So as you see, the two teams getting ready to come back out on the field. Minneapolis City already out there. They're huddling right now, just about 15, 20 yards on the right-hand side of midfield. Duluth FC about to break their huddle as well. A quick reminder, by the way, while we have a moment, our next broadcast of Duluth FC soccer will come up in a few days right here back at Public School Stadium, the 18th. That's a Tuesday, taking on Minnesota Twin Stars, a team we haven't seen in a while, Coach, but that should be a fun one as well. That's a 7 p.m. opening kick. As you get a look at the graphic there on the bottom half of your screen, we'll be on with the pregame starting about 6:45 for more Duluth FC blue-green soccer. In the meantime, we have at least 45 minutes, plus whatever stoppage we end up with, of soccer here to go in this I-35 Derby between Duluth FC and Minneapolis City SC, the top two finishers last season in the MPSL North Division standings. And Sam Thornton about to kick it off here for Duluth FC. We were wondering when he would get into the game. He's very much an anticipated addition to the team this year, Coach. And Division I player, plays for Marquette University, or played for Marquette University, former also teammate at the Division II level at Gannon with current blue-green and former UWS player Scott Wilson, and he will kick it off here as we begin the second half of play. Again, the Blue-Greens and Minneapolis City going at it here in the second 45 minutes. Again, thank you for joining us here for what has become a beautiful night for soccer here in the Northland on this Saturday evening from Public School Stadium. Matt Johnson, Joe Mooney bringing you all the play-by-play as Blake Perry now getting a ball forward, and he'll draw a foul. That's kind of a specialty of Blake Perry, by the way, having his opposition up his back a little bit and drawing a foul. That's, like I said, that's something that he does quite a lot, especially at the college level for her UW Superior, and he draws a foul there. And
well, he's so good, Matt, at just separating the defender from the ball and just kind of staying in between the opponent and the ball. Anytime a defender gets impatient there, he's very quick to draw that foul.
It'll be interesting to see also how Sam Thornton comes into this game. Very strong player physically. Scored 11 goals as a sophomore at Gannon before transferring to Division I Marquette. As off the throw here for the Crows, it goes out of play, and I guess we're going to do it again. It'll be Murakami that'll take the throw here, it looks like. That's Lionel Vang, by the way, who's checking back to the ball.
Matt, one of the things I saw with Sam just in training, he's very good at he'll check back into space, and then as soon as his touch is off his foot.
Here's a shot. That one rises over the top off the left foot of Kostya Domaratsky, and it'll be tipped over the bar by Troy Lewagi. But, boy, that was close to making it 2-0.
That ball had some movement on it, Matt.
Big time.
Well done from Troy there to get his hand on that one. But a good shot there from Kostya.
And now a corner kick here. It'll be Rory Carlson. They'll take it on the left foot here for Duluth FC, curling a ball in. Comes over the top, and Santiago Arazo at the back post had a good look at it. That one a little bit over the bar, but Duluth FC in the first 2 minutes here putting some pressure on, to say the least here, Coach. trying to double it with 1-0 lead.
I love that ball from Rory there. A lot of pace on it, a lot of dip to it. Just outside the 6. It's a very hard ball to deal with, and you see why it skated through the box there.
Here's Blake Perry now playing it into the middle, looking for Rory Carlson, who was coming through. And now we're going to have a foul called against Minneapolis City. That one's going to be whistled against Cole Schwartz. We'll have a free kick here coming up for Duluth FC, but good life here to start the second half here for the Blue Greens, who are looking to build, like I said, on that 1-0 lead.
Matt, again, you'll see Sam Thornton just kind of set up shop between the two center backs there and try to occupy both of them. And like I was saying, he'll do a good job of peeling off, checking back into that space. But as soon as the ball's off his foot, he's so quick to turn and get into that positive space and behind them. So you'll look for him to play a ball back into a midfielder and then try to get in that space and see if he can't nip one.
And now here's Juarez on the outside. He'll be called on an offside for the second time. But Duluth FC showing some nice passing here so far, trying to get it in through the middle and then back to the outside wing. Juarez, like I said, just a half step off. But
yeah, he's been a little eager a couple times there. When your fullback is the one that's getting in an offside position, it just means he's a little bit too eager to get into that positive space. But again, I do like the idea of getting those fullbacks more involved in the attack, and they've shown that already here in the second half.
Ball now comes over near side. We'll have a throw here coming up for the Crows. Looks like it'll be Lionel Vang that's awaiting the throw here. And he'll give way to Murakami, who seems to have suffered no ill effects of that ankle injury that he had in the first half. Aaron Olson will take this throw, as it comes in. Now here's Vang in the middle, picked off. Tomaratsky now playing it over the top, looking for Sam Thornton. Thornton now going on the right foot, gets a shot away, and he scores! It takes Sam Thornton all of 3 minutes and 40 seconds to score his first career Duluth FC goal. And it is 2-0. The Blue Greens in the lead here in the 49th minute from Public School Stadium.
Matt, what a great goal there. And I'm not sure who had the assist. I don't know if it was Felipe or who from the midfield, but like to pop that ball up, and then you saw Sam Thornton just show what he does. He changed sides on Murakami about 3 times as he was chasing that ball down. He went on to Murakami's left shoulder, then his right shoulder, and then finally dipped back over to the left shoulder and got into that space and behind him. And he just shows how crafty he is in his ability to make a defender deal with him. And then obviously the finish there, very well taken, very well struck, great goal.
Yeah, I think it was either Oliveira or Domaratsky maybe who fed that ball forward, one of the two of them. But Sam Thornton, talk about his physical strength, Coach. We talked about him off air before we went on the air, that he's built like a tank. Big, strong young man from England, and he would, like I said, I got a chance to talk to him before we went on the air tonight. I got a chance to talk to him on the field earlier, and he was itching for it. And he's in there now in Duluth FC. Certainly happy that he is. Takes him, like I said, all of 3 minutes and change to get his first career goal. And it is 2-0, Duluth FC in the lead off the goal by Sam Thornton.
Well, if you watch that goal back, Matt, what he did there, too, is I think City was looking for a foul, but really, again, so he dipped from one shoulder to the other, and then in that last sequence, as Murakami leaned into him, he just gave way. He just he just let him have that space, and it almost like Murakami had nobody to lean onto. So there was no foul there from Thornton, I didn't see.
No.
It just kind of let Murakami kind of lean into that space, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there, and he was off to the races on the ball.
Well, that's also that's a seasoned striker's move as well. He was able to shield off the defender. So Thornton gets the goal. And now a ball cleared over the far side off the left foot of Barraza. We'll have a throw here coming up. Let's see how that changes the dynamic here, Coach. Duluth FC leading at 2-0 now. And we'll have a foul call. Is that Pacheco? They hit the deck on the far side. I think it is. So we'll have a free kick here coming up for the Crows.
Well, there you go. If Thornton can just keep that clip up, 1 goal every 3 minutes, that's 30 goals per game. We'd certainly love to see that.
Well, he's certainly been impressive. I know that the coaching staff has been very high on him. And now off the restarts, Rory Carlson. Carlson now with an inside-out move, step over. Now clears the outside. Here's Blake Perry. Duluth FC coming in on the counterattack. Here's Perry now to the back post, looking for Thornton, and just overshot him with the left foot. But a good look that time from Blake Perry off the left foot, looking for Thornton at the back post.
Oh, and I love Perry's run there. And again, Thornton just occupies those center backs, so it gives Perry so much more space. And you saw him, Perry dipped into his right, and then as soon as the ball was on the foot of the midfielder, then cut back out to his left and just gave himself that much more space. This game has gotten way more dynamic. The front three for Duluth have gotten way more dynamic. This is going to be a fun second half to watch here, Matt.
Yeah, we're going to have a substitution now here for Duluth FC as Roy Carlson gets taken off.
I think that's Aaron Pike coming on.
It is. It's Aaron Pike that's coming on for the first time.
Coming on for the Blue Greens.
And he's a seasoned NPSL player, although he's new to Duluth.
As Pike comes on, he'll play one of the outside wing positions now as off the free kick. Oliveira now pressing the issue with the right foot. Plays it.
He can combine with that front three.
Yeah, Pike led the University of Jamestown in scoring this year. Had 9 goals for the Jimmies. One of the great names, by the way, nicknames in college sports, the Jamestown Jimmies.
It's up there, right? Yeah.
As this ball now to the far side. We'll probably talk more about that as the season goes on. Now here's Blake Perry.
From Perry.
In the middle, here's a shot right on off the left foot of Thornton looking for his second, and Lewagi making the save. But I think Thornton would have wanted that one back, tried to get a little bit more on with that left boot.
Can you tell why Blake Perry had 20 assists this last season? I think Thornton's going to enjoy playing with him. He's going to get a lot of service. And as a center forward, that's really all you can ask for.
Well, especially a big physical specimen like Sam Thornton, as we've already seen.
Yeah.
As this ball now comes back. And now Minneapolis City trying to build something forward by Hobji now, playing a ball over the top. Brendan Daly off of his line, who hasn't had a lot to do tonight. And now we're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have a stoppage. Or maybe not.
They're letting him play on.
They're letting him play on. Here's the ball now into space coming through. Here's Perry off the line, sliding it away from the onrushing Duluth FC forward was Troy Lewagi, and now finally the ball will go out of play as.
So, Matt, I think what happened there was I think City thought maybe they were going to call a foul. It looks like there was possibly an obstruction from Aroza on Cole Schwartz there. And I think City was looking for the foul to be called. The AR raised his flag, but he was actually raising for the previous offside.
Okay, yeah.
Which they let them play on through.
Now here's Solaris in the space for Pike, and that one now is going to be whistled on an offside. But Duluth FC right now really taking it to Minneapolis City, and the Crows right now kind of, I don't want to say they're hanging by a thread, Coach, but it's looking like Duluth FC starting to tilt the field a little bit here.
Yeah, again, I think there's just been a lot more dynamic play here in the front three. And City's going to be looking for a solution to try to calm things down in front of them a bit.
Off the free kick now, it's Schwartz to the outside looking for Vang. Slid away defensively now by Duluth FC. Crows try to work it to the outside, and now it'll go out of play. So they were trying to feed Jorge Pacheco on the outside. Also over there was Nathan Streitz, but we'll have a throw now coming up here on the far side for the Crows as they go into the corner. As Lionel Vang, he had 3 players around him and ended up losing it on the far sideline. So there'll be a throw here coming up for Duluth FC.
Matt, I think if you're Sean Morgan, this has been a pretty ideal start to the second half. I think it's important for Duluth that they don't kind of rest on their laurels here. City's got some players that at any point can take over and have some moments of brilliance, and all of a sudden it's back to 2-1, and then you sort of lose that advantage, lose that momentum, and I think that's exactly what they need to be worried about here.
And they're going to call a foul here on Andreas Solaris. The card is out here, the yellow card variety, and now things are going to start getting a little bit chippy here apparently across the way as Solaris will get a yellow card. Martin Griezwa is going to come over and have a chat.
That's Charlie Adam down again, man. He's had a
rough game. Yeah, he's also sitting on a yellow card, by the way. Got dinged up. Of course, had an injury to his back in the first half, which looked like it really did hamper him for the remainder of the opening 45, Coach. And now it looks like he might be having an ankle issue. And yeah, Charlie's having a tough night. Now he's up, and there's some bruises for Charlie Adams after this game, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's Christy Wilkie back in action. We were saying we hoped we didn't see her again, but she's been called back into action again. Matt, I was thinking about this. I was worried a little bit that we wouldn't have Christy available this year. She's a snow patrol, on the ski mountains, and I just thought, with the winter we had, we might still be in ski season by the time we started. So I'm glad that we're clear of that now. And we got Christy working with us again.
It only took us till last week, Coach. We have a free kick here coming up. Lionel Vang standing over it. Bends it in now.
Dangerous ball.
Yeah, headed away there. Nice defensive play by Duluth FC. Clear that ball off the line, and now here's Pike. Pike coming forward now, trying to get a step around the defender, that being Aaron Olson. Comes in at an angle, and it'll go over the end line, and they're going to say it's going to be a goal kick here for Troy Lewegi. Though it was a nice attempt that time by Aaron Pike. He was looking for the call there.
Yeah. And Costa actually thought that was a
corner kick coming up.
Yeah, he was over there screaming for the ball.
As off the goal kick now comes back toward midfield. There's Orazo with it. He'll play for Blake Perry. Perry gets knocked down from behind by Jorge Pacheco, and it'll be a free kick here coming up for Duluth FC as we approach the hour mark here, Coach, of a 2-0 game. Duluth FC scoring a goal in each half. One from Felipe Oliveira, one from Sam Thornton, and that's where we stand, 2-0. As Charlie Adams now trying to spin away from Kostya Domorotsky, now plays it to the outside. And we will have a...
Oh, it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, it should be a free kick. Yeah, Pacheco thought he was out of bounds, I think, when he went up and grabbed that ball.
Well, there's a couple of lines over there, Matt, so it can be a bit confusing if you haven't played on this field before.
Now we're going to have a foul call that's going down as Domorotsky, and Abaya Hopti, I think that got him. And this is where you start worrying, though, about the physical play maybe getting a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Matt, if the next foul for either team saw a card just to try to maybe rein things in a little bit.
As this ball now is sent forward.
I think Perry was offside there. He came from an offside position. Probably let him play on.
Now they send it through. Grieswell over there for Duluth FC, able to head it away. And now we're going to have a whistle, and they're going to bring the ball back. And it'll be a free kick here. Charlie Adams going to stand over it now on the right foot here for the Crows.
Matt, you're right, though. I think the temperature of the game is really starting to rise a little bit here between the two teams.
Ball sent through the middle. Headed away there by Grieswa. Now Adams will send it near side. And now they'll go all the way back for Lewegi. Blake Perry coming in now to put some pressure on, and Lewegi plays it up the right side wing. Good job to pick it out there. Here's Lionel Vang. Vang's ball into space now. Oliveira coming back defensively. Nice job by him. He's had a strong game on both ends of the field, Coach.
Yeah.
Now ball comes forward. Here's Perry. Blake Perry now has a player on the wing with him. It's Kostya Domorotsky. Domorotsky now on the edge of the 18. And they'll go back to the outside. That's Kian Gantley now. And they'll go all the way back now. Here's Orazo. Left-footed ball forward. Aaron Olson.
There again, Matt, just down in that left corner, I think both players kind of looking for an overlap at some point, and it didn't happen.
Here's Solaris now off the turnover. Sending it to the outside. Gantley, left-footed ball. Will carry over the end line, and we'll have a goal kick here coming up as we're into the 62nd minute now. Again, our next home game, as you see on the graphic on your screen, 7 p.m. this coming Tuesday against Minnesota Twin Stars. 7 p.m. the opening kick. Coach Mooney and I will be on the air about 6:45 or so to get that one underway. And hopefully we'll have similar weather to this game, Coach. This has actually been just about as perfect as you can get.
Yeah, especially, home opener. Man, we haven't even talked about the crowd yet. What a great crowd we've had tonight.
Now on the outside, here comes Minneapolis City. Taking it on the outside, trying to cross it into the 6-yard area. Knocked away by the Blue Greens and now cleared over the far side. Nice defense over there. Grieswell was there. And Kian Gantley also made a nice play over there, Coach, to help clear that ball off the line. Or, excuse me, off the end line. Not the goal line, but the end line. And we'll have a throw here coming up now for Minneapolis City. It'll be Jorge Pacheco that'll take it. Gets it right back. Now turns it to the outside. Pacheco, a guy like you talked about in the open, Coach, that Minneapolis City is very high on, young guy. Still in his teenage years. That's impressive to play at this level.
Yeah, to find your way into a starting lineup like that and then to have the impact in the game that he's had. He's had a couple of nice looks and I think he's provided some good outlet play for City.
Here's Juarez now for Duluth FC intercepting. Now outside, here's Blake Perry. Perry with a head of steam. To the outside now for Sam Thornton. Thornton now, right-footed ball in the space. Here's Perry coming in, and he couldn't quite bring it down. Lewegi to his right, able to get it off the turf.
Matt, it's been fun to watch those two players. Again, already here in the first kind of 20 minutes, the second half, they've had some really nice sequences, some good 1-2 play, and some good chemistry already built up between the two players.
Arthur Barron's now having that ball tackled off his foot by Felipe Oliveira, and we'll have a throw here coming in. Here's Vang for Charlie Adams. Adams, who's had a very physically demanding evening, to say the least, for the Crows. For Vang, now on the near side.
He's a gritty player too, though, Matt. I'm not surprised to see Charlie Adams just really kind of soldiering through this. He's always had that reputation, and again, just not surprised at all to see him just kind of grin and bear it and get through it.
Ball forward now by Daly. Martin Griesbach, who's been very good in the air so far here tonight, taking that ball forward. Now here's Thornton playing it in the middle, and now that'll be cleared over the near side, and Juarez will let it go. And Jesse Juarez will have a throw here now coming up for the Blue Greens. And now he'll be brought down to the turf. Foul called on Vang, and it'll be a free kick here for Duluth FC. And Duluth FC right now just kind of playing a very strategic game between the 8 teams right now. Coach just trying to kind of deaden the ball here.
Yeah, I think maintain a bit of possession. I think they've done a nice job of that.
Off the free kick, Griesbach now for Solaris, who's played really well in the holding midfielder role here so far for Duluth FC tonight. Here's Perry. Right-footed ball now into space. Now here's Aaron Pike. Pike on the left foot gets a shot away and will send it wide.
They called him off.
Did they call him off?
Yeah,
okay.
In the end, yep.
I like that interplay, though, between those three. You talked about Thornton and Blake Perry. Also Aaron Pike. He looks like he will fit in pretty well as the season goes along as well. Absolutely. On that right-hand side.
And again, this is just some of the depth that Coach Sean Morgan had talked about that they have this summer. It's really, take your pick out of the guys that have played up top. They've all done a terrific job tonight, and they've been fun to watch. And I think it's going to be a matter of really kind of like throughout the summer, who develops that chemistry first.
We will have a throw coming up now near midfield. It'll be Aaron Olson that'll take it here for Minneapolis City. These two teams will meet again, by the way, in June. In a game that will be played, I think, I don't want to say it's going to be at Minnetonka High School. I know Minneapolis City right now is in the midst of playing a lot of home games at different venues. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it is actually at Breck High School in Golden Valley. McKnight Stadium, I believe.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I read. In the meantime, off the restart, off the throw-in on the outside, that was Oliveira who tried to get it to the outside. That was intercepted. Now Oliveira will track back.
Looks like there'll be a midfield substitution here for Duluth FC coming up. I think that's Keegan Chasey on the far side. We'll get his first minutes of the season.
Yep, that is Keegan Chasey. Good eye here, coach. As this ball is now sent to the far side. Running it down, Araza will play it back for Brendan Daly, who has not had a lot to do tonight. Left-footed ball now toward midfield. Blake Perry trying to shield off a couple of players. And now the Crows turn it over as they cross midfield. Solaris.
Matt, there's some of the activity above Solaris that I think was missing in the first half. You just see Oliveira break that line as Solaris checks in, and then just sends the ball back into the back line. And then the back line sends it up to that next plane ahead. Again, that was some of the dynamic play that was missing in the first half.
Gantley now, left-footed cross into the middle and volleying that one high. Aaron Pike, but a good look again, middle of the 18. And really nice build-up play that time from Duluth FC.
Yeah, and again, it came from some of that, positive, negative, positive type passing, between the lines in the back. And, I think it allowed Duluth to get some numbers forward. I think they're looking at knocking on the door for another goal here at some point, Matt.
Free kick here coming up. It'll be taken by Troy Lewegi, who's gone all the way in goal here. For head coach Marco Campoverde. First time that he's been the head coach for the MPSL side for Minneapolis City. In the past, it's been Adam Pribble, and before that, or after that, it was Matt Van Benschoten, but now it's Marco Campoverde who is taking over, and like I said, coaching his first season for the MPSL version of Minneapolis City. Again, we talked about in the first half, Coach, the fact that they have a pool of players right now that are playing both an MPSL schedule and also in a USL 2 schedule. So interesting times for Minneapolis City.
Well, like I said, Matt, I think it's a great thing for Minnesota soccer. To have a team at the USL level 2 like that. I do think that there's going to be some, just some uneasiness about the squad a little bit as they kind of figure out, which players go to which level. And, a weekend like this where the USL side is down in Peoria, Illinois, and there's players that I'm sure would like to be playing up here that are sent down there and vice versa. So those are some of the growing pains. But I think in the end, it's going to play very well for City. And again, it's going to be very good for soccer in Minnesota.
We're going to have a foul call here now on Kean Gantley as he came over, got ahead of steam, and a little bit of a reckless challenge there, to be perfectly honest. We're going to have a free kick here coming up. On the far side here for the Crows. As we're in the 69th minute here. An impressive showing for head coach Sean Morgan. He's got to be pleased with what he's seen here so far. Especially coming off that 6-0 win over Joy Athletic, as this ball now into the 18. It'll be cleared away by the right foot of Santiago Arazo back toward midfield. And now a throw coming up here for the Blue Greens. Jesse Juarez will take it. Juarez getting the throw in for Aaron Pike. Andreas Solares, who's just been rock solid in that holding midfield role, coach. We talked about how much ground he can cover and how much running he can do, but he's got some very nice touch. Plays much bigger than his 5'8" frame. And he has been, like I said, rock solid that holding midfield role here tonight.
Yeah, and he's been so good, Matt. Obviously defensively at just breaking up play and protecting angles. But offensively, he's such a focal point in trying to build numbers. You see anytime the ball's in the back line, they're looking to get the ball to his feet to try to start that attack. And it's just his quality and sort of his patience and the way that he can play a ball just sort of effortlessly that really make him that focal point.
This is Aaron Olson now on the right foot. In the middle now, flicked into space. And that one will get over the top. And we will have, as it bounces over the end line, a goal kick here coming up for the Blue Greens. We're in the 71st minute here, on the verge of the 71st minute. Keegan Chasey is officially in the game, by the way. He looks like he took off Felipe Oliveira, and now he's playing more of a center midfield role here. Speaking of Chasey, there was his first touch, a little bit heavy, but now picked up by Solares, and he'll send it over the top, now looking for Pike. Pike now in a foot race with Aaron Olson, who will win the battle physically and then send a ball to the far side. By Hopti now on the right foot. In the middle now, here's Vang. Lionel Vang, and he'll go down, and we'll have a foul called against Keegan Chasey. It'll be a free kick here coming up.
Matt, love to see Keegan Chasey get on the field here tonight. Obviously a local product here. Duluth Denfeld, Gitchigumi player.
Played his high school soccer on this very field.
Absolutely, yeah. And, he was obviously a big part of what Duluth did last summer. Just a very good young player. Covers a lot of ground, great work ethic, and a very smart and tactical player, too.
Aaron Olson now for Charlie Adams. This is Lionel Vang on the right foot for Minneapolis City. Sends it to the far side. Jonah Garcia, who's gone all the way in the middle. No surprise there. He's played a lot of minutes over the years for the Crows in central defense. Now it's Hopti on the outside, trying to clip it over the top, looking for Pacheco, I think, going up the wing, coach. And Arazo able to read it and cleared it with the left foot. And now Chasey sending it forward. There's a ball pressure put on by Sam Thornton, who has the second goal for Duluth FC tonight.
Boy, that was a 2v2 opportunity there. Again, Murakami just dealt with it very well, but that could have spelled trouble, I think, a little bit for City.
Murakami's always been that very solid defender that you can always rely on. Not spectacular, but just very smart. Reads the game well. Made some really nice defensive plays in the first half. There's this ball now in the space over the top, and here's Brendan Daly coming off of his line and able to scoop that one off the turf. And Arazo went down in a heap as well, and we'll see if anything comes out of this. Now Arazo is to his feet. Daly looks like he's all right as well. And it looks like we'll just have another drop ball. We've had a few stoppages in this game in terms of injury time. Thankfully, just about everybody has been, for the most part, pretty healthy today. Charlie Adams has had probably the toughest day in terms of taking a beating physically in this game from either team, but no injuries that have forced anybody out of the game as of yet, Coach, and that's always a good thing. As Grease was balled out to the outside, that one deflected away. Lionel Vang on the intercept. Tight roping the sideline. Now we go all the way back for Matt Murakami. And finally to the top of the 18 for Lewegi. Troy Lewegi on the right foot. To the far side, and that one will overshoot the intended target, that being Jorge Pacheco. We'll have a throw here coming up for Duluth FC. As we approach the last 15 minutes here of regulation time, we'll have a throw coming up. It'll be Kean Gantley that'll take it here, the Irish midfielder for Duluth FC, as the throw comes in, headed forward. Drums continuing to beat here at the Public School Stadium, as is habit, with the home folks here in the Twin Ports.
Man, I'm trying to figure out who they subbed on for Cole Schwartz there. I think the numbers might be different than what we had gotten. He's wearing number 16. I think that might be Nick Hutton.
Could be. He's listed at number 14 on their website, but I think that is Nick Hutton. I think you're right. And if we're wrong, we'll apologize in advance here to Minneapolis City. Nick Hutton, another long-time Minneapolis City player.
Yeah, obviously a Burnsville High School product. Ran track at the University of Minnesota. I think he was a mid-distance runner. And just a solid soccer player and really a nuisance up top, as you can see him there.
Yeah, that's Hutton right now. And that ball will be tackled out. Last touch by either Chasty or Solaris. I think it was Chasty, and it'll be a throw here coming up. Near side, Aaron Olson now looks like he's going to give way. We're going to have a couple of substitutions here coming in the game here for the Crows. As, like I said, we're down to the last 15 minutes and change here of regulation time here, Coach. The 2-0 game.
I should say my announcement's going on, but not numbers.
As the throw will come in, this is going to be Luke Lindsay that just came in as one of the new players. And the other one is Miguel Ariano. So those are your two new players. In the meantime, here comes Duluth FC on the counterattack. Aaron Pike on the right foot, laying it in the space back post, looking for Blake Perry, and he misses the top bar. Hits it off the football crossbar, the American football crossbar, and he'll be seeing that one in his sleep tonight. Knowing Blake.
Yeah, he won't miss many of those. He owes 10 push-ups.
Make sure you tell him that, Coach. I'm sure he'll jump right on it.
I'm sure if there would have been more time there in the stoppage, he would have already gotten him in. But what a great ball from Aaron Pike there.
That was a really nice ball. Sam Thornton was also crashing down the middle, but Blake Perry had a good look at the backside post, just, like I said, hit it over the top, and now a ball to the outside. And we'll have a throw here coming up for Duluth FC as we're into the last quarter of an hour here. Now, this home opener for 2022, so far so good for the Blue Greens. They lead at 2-0, a goal in each half. Felipe Oliveira in the 9th minute in the first 45, and then it was Sam Thornton in less than 4 minutes after making his Blue Greens debut in the 48th minute to make it 2-0, and that's where we stand right now. And Coach, the game has kind of settled in since then. A lot of play between the 18s, not a lot of, as Blake Perry ranging back defensively, and now he'll play it off of a Minneapolis City player on the far side, and we'll have a goal kick here coming up for Brendan Daly.
And that's one of the things as a coach you love about Blake Perry is, you watch the recovery run there and just how much energy he's putting into that in the 77th minute to be the last player back to intercept that ball and secure things defensively and get things out for a goal kick. And now look, he's already lined up back up top.
Yeah, he is definitely a workhorse. He will definitely run the full length of the field, the full 120 yards if you give him the time. We've seen that throughout his college career across the bridge over in Superior. And now here's a ball forward off the goal kick, looking for Sam Thornton. That one broken up. Pacheco had it. Now it's Domorotsky. Domorotsky with a shot. Save is made by Lewegi. Good look that time for Coach as he got to look at the top of the 18 and then trying to hit Juarez was Pike, and it'll go over the end line. But big save by there by Troy Lewegi, otherwise it's 3-0.
Yeah, and he made it look a lot easier than it was just because of his angle. He had stepped off his line enough to really make that a tough ball to try to curl around. Obviously, you know, Lewegi trying to take over for the long time. Matt Elder, who has been their goalkeeper and really one of the faces of the club for many years, hung up the boots after the birth of their first child. You know, congrats to Matt and Amy out there.
Another UW Superior alum, by the way, shout out there.
Quick plug, yeah, absolutely for the Yellow Jackets. Appreciate that, Matty.
Well, we talk about a lot of the subplots and the relationships between the teams and the players, and those little relationships. Like I said, Matt Elder, who is a buddy of ours.
Well, and again, it's such a shout out to Minneapolis City and what they've done to really keep things local. And you really do have to respect and appreciate that for what they've done for soccer here in the Midwest.
Here's Charlie Adams now trying to clip it over the top. Juarez will just tip it away from the on-running Lindsay, and it'll go out of play. And is it going to be a corner kick or just a throw? I can't tell. Looks like it is going to be.
I think they gave him the corner.
Yeah, they are going to give him a corner. So Lionel Vang will come over and take the corner kick here as we approach the 80th minute mark now.
Expect a lot of swerve on this ball. Again, he can put a lot of texture on the ball and a lot of pace on it.
5 Minneapolis City players right now bunched near the top of the 18 as Vang comes in. Curls it back post. Nobody there in a jersey, pink jersey. Santiago Razo was there, though, and he got ahead to it, cleared it away. And now I'll go over the far side, and we'll have another throw here coming up.
One thing Sean Morgan has to be happy with is there haven't been a lot of deep set pieces for Minneapolis City, but the ones that they have had, I think, have been really well dealt with tonight. There's been really good direction. And again, for early mark in the season, that was something I think they struggled with a little bit last year, Matt.
Yeah, it was a little bit. The set pieces sometimes got them in trouble, but so far so good this season. As Domorotsky now leaves it back. Now here's Solaris coming through, and he'll rise one over the bar.
Yeah, and he had.
I don't mind seeing, though, Solaris take that shot after the night that he's had. He's been so solid in that holding midfield role, Coach. That
yeah. I think it's one of those where, you know, you get one of those shots off and try to test the goalkeeper.
Oh, here's Domorotsky with a shot, dipping an effort off the right foot of Coach Domorotsky, and nice save by Lewegi.
Yeah.
And he had to smother that because Blake Perry is right there looking for a rebound.
Yeah, Blake Perry's always hungry to try to get on the end of anything he can. We go back to that shot from Solaris there. I think he did have an opportunity to put that ball on frame. He also, because those center backs had stepped to him, he had Blake Perry and Aaron Pike on the outside that were looking for through ball opportunities as well. And that's one of the advantages. When you get some of those early shots from outside, it forces the back line to step to you harder, and it creates some of those spaces behind. I wouldn't be surprised if the next opportunity he got, you know, from about 25, 30 yards out, he actually looked to find that through ball.
Here's Keegan Chasty now. He'll send it to the outside. Aaron Pike making the overlapping run, and there's a little bit of that, again, early season miscommunication between Pike and Juarez. Yeah, Jesse Juarez was making the run up the right side, Coach, and just like I said, a little bit of miscommunication there.
But again, that's one where you have to applaud the effort from Juarez. You know, some of those overlapping opportunities that we were talking about earlier that maybe weren't happening as much. You're starting to see a lot more freedom from both Kian and Juarez on the outsides there, and I like to see that dynamic play from them.
Long ball in the space. Now it looks like Minneapolis City now kind of playing the long ball game here a little bit more, Coach. They've been trying to release through the wings a little bit, trying to track down, maybe get some space in behind the back four for Duluth FC. But it's been a very solid effort by the back four for the most part for the Blue Greens here tonight.
Well, there again, I mean, we're talking about the 82nd minute of the game, and to see Gantley just, you know, work that hard just to shield that ball out, even though the forward may not have a chance to get to that one. It just shows the effort, the commitment that these guys have already in this young season.
There's Brendan Daly now. He'll send it to the far side. Looking for the aforementioned Kian Gantley, who's put into a shift and a half out there on the left-hand side, Coach, as the outside midfielder role. And we're going to have a throw here coming up for the Blue Greens. It's been a very complete performance, really, by Duluth FC tonight. They've, for the most part, controlled play here. Minneapolis City has had a couple of good looks, but except for a couple of nice saves by Troy Lewegi, this could be a 3 or maybe even 4-0 game right now in favor of the Blue Greens, as here's Solaris now on the right foot. Playing it outside, here's Juarez. Juarez now stepping forward, nice ball into space. Here's Aaron Pike. Pike on the right foot. Plays it now. A little bit light on the touch, looking for Domorotsky. That allowed Charlie Adams to come back and break it up for the Crows. And now here's Pike again, getting it right back. Aaron Pike now trying to step around a couple defenders. Lost it. Now it's angled forward by Murakami. Juarez. Solaris. Griezwa. And just very solid by Duluth FC. Especially in the midfield tonight, Coach. I feel like the midfield play has been very, very good. And by the way, we have a new Blue Greens player in there. It's DeAndre Williams, who comes in for the first time. Canadian teenager who just joined the team a couple days ago.
And on to the Blue Greens, DeAndre Williams, number 19.
DeAndre Williams on for the first time. And a couple of teenagers on this roster for head coach Sean Morgan. Others being Jacob Kidd, who is a future UW Superior Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, a couple local young guys. Aiden Olson is another one on the squad from Duluth East, and a couple of young, I think, really kind of up-and-coming type players. We mentioned Keegan Chasty. So really, again, a good local crew of young talent that has been featured for this Duluth FC side at different points.
And there is DeAndre Williams, the teenager, drawing what will be now a corner kick on the far side here. And it'll be, looks like, Kostya Domorotsky that'll take it here, who's also been very good tonight. Actually, you really can't say anything bad about any of the midfielders. They've all played pretty well tonight, I would say. As Domorotsky now will take this corner kick far side. Bends it in. Headed away by Jonah Garcia for Minneapolis City.
What the hell?
And now it comes back, and we're going to have a whistle, and I think they're going to call a foul maybe. Or was it an offside? Either way, free kick here for the Crows of Minneapolis City SC as this ball played forward. Ariano now trying to come forward, and he will end up dribbling it out of play, and it's going to be a throw here coming up for the Blue Greens. A couple of days after tonight's ball game for Duluth FC before they hit the field again to take on Minnesota Twin Stars, our next broadcast here. Courtesy of the Blue Green Stream team.
Looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Haven't seen Twin Stars in a few years, Coach. We'll see what they bring to the table in a few days here at Public School Stadium. 7 p.m. the opening kick there. Coach Mooney and I will be on with the pregame starting about 6:45 or so.
You know, they're another club that gives a lot of opportunity to local guys, so I would expect to see a pretty, local centralized crew and squad from them.
Like I said, they haven't been in the league for a few years. I'll have to go back and check my notes, but I think it's been probably since, 16 or 17 is the last time we saw a Twin Stars team in the MPSL North, so go back and have a look at that. In the meantime, we'll have a throw now for Minneapolis City as we tick down in the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Minneapolis City trying to rally from a 2-0 deficit. Duluth FC trying to go to 2-0. Trying to shut out their second straight MPSL North opponent here to begin the 2022 summer campaign. As off the throw, it is flicked forward. Now Jonah Garcia for the Crows plays it over in the midfield stripe. On the outside now, this is Luke Lindsay. Ariano plays it back. And now ball to the far side for Jorge Pacheco, who you got to say he's probably learning a lot physically at this stage of the game. As Lionel Vang now on the outside. He goes down looking for a call, does not get it. And Juarez will pump it forward here for Duluth FC. Here's Thornton. Sam Thornton now. Domorotsky on the outside now. And here's the teenager Williams, DeAndre Williams now, and he gets taken down. No call on the far side by center referee Jeremy Euchre. And now the flag goes up on the far side. And now it goes back down, and we'll have a whistle finally.
Yeah, at first, Matt, I did think that was a foul, but to be honest, I think, there was certainly contact there, but I think what happened was Williams kind of left his leg in and kind of initiated that contact. It's probably, in the end, a pretty good no call by Jeremy Euchre.
And we're going to have now a free kick for somebody here. Looks like it'll be Duluth FC free kick. Santiago Razo will take it. And now Razo will step around by Hopti and then play a ball over the far side. So we'll have a throw here coming up. Just under 3 minutes now left in regulation time here. As this ball now coming to the top of the 18, Brendan Daly coming off of his line, heads it forward, and here's Andres Solaris. Solaris now gets taken down from behind, and that's a definite yellow card there for Miguel Ariano.
That's right.
Matt, I think that's the second time we've seen Daly come out and head one off his line. He's been, again, 3-4 occasions now where the ball has come up over the back line. He's been very quick to get off his line. I love to see that aggressive and just kind of
That's sort of his
confident
MO.
play from the goalkeeper there, making the right decisions, coming out, being aggressive, and dealing really well with it. And the amount of confidence that gives your back line to know your goalkeeper can handle things that do come in behind you, it just allows you to play a different way as a back four.
Off the restart. Ball to the near side and out of play now by Solaris. Luke Lindsay throwing it in quickly. We'll go all the way back now. Here's Jonah Garcia on the right foot. Sending the ball to the far side, and we'll have a little bit of physical play now between Pacheco and Gantley on that far side, right in front of the Minneapolis City bench. And coming right down to the final ticks of this one, Coach, as the clock continues to move here, moving toward the 90th minute of this one.
Yeah, and I think this is where game management just comes into play here for Duluth FC.
Arazo up the left foot. Now that ball headed into the middle of the field here on the Public School Stadium pitch.
I think priority one, Matt, is obviously to protect the clean sheet. Make sure you get out of here with a 0 on the board. If they can find that, that one more insurance goal, I'm sure that would make everybody on the bench just kind of breathe another sigh of relief.
Well, of course, goal differential does count when it comes to tiebreakers in the MPSL. And we'll have a throw now coming up as that ball is sprayed over the near side. Less than half a minute to play in this one. As far as regulation time, we'll see how much added time center referee Jeremy Euchre wants to add to this one in a 2-0 game.
I'm going to guess 2 minutes, Matt.
Going to go 2 minutes?
There was a goal. There was one short injury stoppage there.
My general go-to when it comes to guessing stoppage time is 3.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about that. In the meantime here, off the restart, I think 2 minutes could be accurate. We had extended stoppage time in the first half due to some injuries as this ball now played forward. Murakami now matching up with Thornton. That's not an easy matchup, as we saw earlier, for any defender against Sam Thornton and that big body of his. As this one now into the top of the 18, Lewagi will pick it up. And really, I think Thornton's goal kind of changed the tone of the game quite a bit, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think they were knocking on the door, really those first couple minutes, and then for a few minutes after that. So, really, truthfully, it could be 3-0 right now. I think Duluth will be happy, though. I think if you would have told them, coming in the game, would you take a 2-0 result? Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Against a team that has won 3 straight MPSL North Championships, yeah, I think they'll take that all day long. And as the saying goes, twice on Sunday. In the meantime, Duluth FC, now as we're officially into extra time here, trying to kill off this game and go to 2-0 with a game against Minnesota Twin Stars looming here. In the second minute now of added time, Santiago Arazo will go back now for Brendan Daly, who, like I said, really hasn't had a whole lot to do tonight in terms of making saves.
There again, you just see the game management, and you saw Sam Thornton up top just saying, take a second. His hands were up, just saying, slow it down, keep the ball.
No need to be in a hurry here, obviously.
Right.
And as Lionel Vang now will take a throw here. And for Ariano, who got a yellow card just a moment ago, gets muscled off the ball by Martin Grieswa, who wore the captain's armband tonight and did so very well, by the way. Grieswa's been very, very solid defensively. In fact, the Blue Greens as a whole have been very solid defensively tonight. And the throw now near side, Jesse Juarez will take it. So that back four of Juarez, Grieswa, Arazo, and Kean Gantley all been very good over there defensively. Solaris is taken out behind the play, and we're now into the third minute of extra time here. I expect that we maybe have a couple of kicks of the ball remaining here, Coach, and that'll be about it.
Well, Matt, you bested me. I said 2, you said 3. I guess
That's my standard go-to. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm always right. That's what I usually go with, because I feel like that's usually where center referees kind of go in their head if they're looking at the complete picture of whatever game it is that they're refereeing. So we'll see. I don't know. If it goes much more than 3 minutes, I'll even put it this way, I will be very surprised.
Well, if you're a coach on the winning side, it's always too long, and if you're on the other side of it, it's never enough, right?
Yeah, and I know you speak from experience on that particular side of things. As this ball sent forward, Daly will track it back in the middle of his own 18, and like I said, we're just about done for the evening here at Public School Stadium. There'll be a lot of smiling Blue-Greens after this game, a 2-0 lead, as Brendan Daly, who really didn't have to make a big save tonight that I can recall. Made a couple of saves early in the game, but second half really didn't have much to do in terms of chances created by the Crows, and he'll be more than happy to take the shutout once the whistle goes.
I think the bulk of his work came at just kind of clearing the lines in behind the back four, and he did a great job of that.
As the throw comes in, Lionel Vang now on the right foot coming forward. Try to get a shot away off the back of Arazo. Now Hobty to the outside.
There again, you just see the quality from Lionel Vang.
And there's the final whistle. Duluth FC on the strength of 1 goal in each half. They shut out Minneapolis City here at Public School Stadium. They move to 2-0 on the MPSL season, and very impressive performance by the Blue-Greens tonight, Coach. Not really much you can nitpick here in this game. Played a very, very high-quality opponent, Minneapolis City SC, and a well-deserved 2-0 win here over the Crows and their home opener for the MPSL season of 2022.
Matt, I'd be very surprised if it doesn't come down to these two at the end. You know, it's kind of the two that top the table. We saw some really good football tonight. Great quality players on both sides of the ball. And again, I think, you know, early season, if you're Duluth, you're flying high. If you're Minneapolis City, I think you're chalking someone up to kind of some of those early season, you know, things that need to be sorted out. But again, there's a lot of quality between these two sides. And I'm already excited for the second leg.
Yeah, the second leg will take place in June down in Golden Valley at McKnight Stadium, by the way, down in Breck's High School's home stadium. And so there'll be a few weeks before these two teams play each other again. In the meantime, we'll recap the scoring of this one before we go off the air here tonight. The Blue-Greens taking the lead in the 9th minute. Felipe Oliveira with his second goal of the season off of a Minneapolis City turnover to make it 1-0. It stayed that way until halftime, and then the second half in the 48th minute, Sam Thornton with really the goal that kind of broke the back, I think, of Minneapolis City for this game, because it really, Duluth FC kind of took control from there, and they ended up winning it by the score of 2-0. But like I said, a very complete performance by the Blue-Greens here tonight, and it sets them up for what hopefully will be another standout performance against Minnesota Twin Stars on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Again, I think some really quality things here. If I'm Sean Morgan, I'm really happy with the performance and just, again, the complete performance. Some things I would want to maybe work on going forward. I think we talked about some of the runs, going into the final third, just throughout the build-up play. I think, again, just maybe allowing the fullbacks to get a bit more aggressive, which they did throughout the second half. And then, I guess this would be another thing early in the season here. 2 games, I don't think we've seen a set-piece goal yet from them. They haven't conceded on the set piece, but I think that'll be a point of emphasis here going forward over the next couple of weeks, is to try to get on the score sheet in that way as well.
So a goal in each half for Duluth FC. They win it by a score of 2-0. A quick reminder, our next broadcast of Duluth FC soccer will come this Tuesday right here at Public School Stadium. Coach Mooney and I are bringing the play-by-play as the Blue-Greens take on Minnesota Twin Stars. 7 p.m. the opening kick there. Coach Mooney and I will be on with the pregame starting at 6:45 as the Blue-Greens look to build on a 2-0 start here to the 2022 MPSL season. A big thank you to everybody who tuned in. A big thank you to the entire Holden family and everybody else that makes a part of these makes these broadcasts possible. Everybody's doing a fantastic job here. So for Coach Joe Mooney, Matt Johnson, one more time repeating the final score. Duluth FC wins at 2-0. We'll talk to you on Tuesday night right here at the Public School Stadium. Until then, so long, everybody. This has been Duluth FC Soccer, courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team.